as I was saying, I'm expecting some different things. We have some issues, internet issues. I'm expecting a few things, but I'm talking too much for myself for now, and I need your opinion. What are you expecting for this second game? Because we're about to jump in a little while.
All right, so as you can see, we do see the roster of Wild right now on our screens as well. And I will focus on Wild for a second. I love the way they approached the draft. Interesting, but they needed to be more careful. They chose losing lanes. Every single lane was a losing lane except the Ornn in the top lane. And here we have got into Picks and Ban's phase of our second game of this best of 3. And I will focus on the fact that, yes, the Ornn was the only one winning, but nobody played towards the Ornn. You saw that the Trundle got the flash really early from the Camille, but then they punished straight away with the Graves that has priority over the Trundle. And Wild was not playing careful enough because they didn't have the mid-game power, they didn't have the early game power, they had the late-game full team fighting comp, and they just didn't play to the powers. They got caught, they died too much, they fell behind in CSing, Trundle got caught too much into his own jungle, a bit of a rookie mistake from Ornn to stay underneath his tower while the jungler had already killed his jungler, and just tiny little mistakes that costed Wild their game. On the other side, I expected us to play the exact same game. Not the exact same champions, but the exact same playstyle. Pick aggressive champions, get your win from the early game, keep your advantages, keep your gold lead, start expanding it, get the barons, get the inhibitors, do it all over again, and just basically punish Wild where they make small mistakes, because Wild didn't make any huge mistakes, but Teutons knew how to capitalize on every single one of them and take not just one advantage from it, but maybe more.
We see some textbook bans by the side of Wild, and because of the ban of Kai'Sa by Teutons, Wild now kinda forced to first pick the Graves. I'm pretty interested to see what Teutons have in mind in order to counter the early game aggression of Graves. But if you see the bans from the side of Wild, you see that Sen is a logical ban. They even banned it in the first game. They will ban the whole bot lane. And here comes...
Yes!
Okay. I will finish that and I'll pass it to you. They banned Morgana and Varus because it was a really troubling lane for them into the bot lane. And now over to you for the Lucian that you love.
I think it makes absolutely utmost sense that Wild grab the Graves straight away out of the bat. They insta-lock it. Anything you can play from the side of Teutons could be like a Kha'Zix, a Lee Sin, a Trundle, a Skarner. Everything gets countered by the Graves right now. Maybe everything except the Lee Sin after level 6, but before level 6, everything gets countered by the Graves right now. But what we haven't talked about is the fact that the Rakan is open.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting to see the Rakan being locked in because Ornn is available and Braum is available, and we know how strong a Braum Lucian lane could be. Now I expect maybe Wild to lock in something super tanky in the bot lane like a Braum or like a Tahm Kench for the Ezreal. I just would have liked to see the Teutons lock in the Braum because that stops Wild from picking Ornn, which really worked for them in the last draft. And then if they don't pick up the Braum, because obviously he gets countered by the Braum, then Teutons are allowed to pick it. But here you go, Wild does pick up the Ornn because there's no Braum for the set of Teutons. Most likely going to get banned, but Wild doesn't care at this point. If it's not on your opposing team, you don't really care what the Braum is.
Always remember that Rakan can be flexed in the mid lane, but it's not that kind of a situation right now. They will pick the Mundo. Interesting choice. Many top laners, and you pick the Mundo, they will also ban the Braum because you do not want to have Ornn and Braum in the same team composition. Nice moves by Teutons.
Remember, of course, that we had the Mundo ban on our first rotation of bans.
It's really
last
strong.
Game.
It's really strong as a pick. Does too much damage, and it's really impossible to kite Mundo away, especially after popping up the ultimate. It's impossible.
With two ADCs right there, you have the Graves and you have the Ezreal. They're not going to be able to break through the Mundo again. I want another Oriana in this Wild composition. He was the mid laner of Wild was the only one who was able to pull ahead, get ahead in CS, put out a lot of damage. So I really want Wild with that Oriana yet again into the bot lane. And I don't know, I would like to see a very aggressive support such as Alistar to be able to engage fights against the Rakan.
Someone is in your head.
Someone is in my head.
The guy that
instantly
drafts
gets
for
banned
the side
out.
of Teutones is in your head.
Yes. Instantly gets banned out. At this point, I would like to see something super aggressive from the side of Wild in the bot lane. I would go as insane even as Zyra, but no. Especially when the Rakan is in there now. The Ren lane Zyra is like
gonna
literally
be
playing with fire.
I
So
wanna see Dominant playing Rengar.
I would
I
like
wanna
to
see
see them go with a Tam Kench here. The second the Rengar jumps in, eat his target, and get the shockwave in with an Oriana. But the Janna could work and could also not. Janna is a very squishy target. She could get one shot so fast that she wouldn't even have time to react to the Rengar coming in, especially if the Rakan taunt jumps in first and then the Rengar, you don't really have time out of the season.
Okay, you pick Rengar, we pick double shield. Look at this. Karma locked in.
I don't agree with this. I'm gonna go as far as in I don't agree with this. Obviously, Wild have a thought in their mind how things work in their composition, but I just loved the way Oriana was played in the last game. That I would just love to see Karma as the support and Oriana in the mid lane. Have more of a damage-oriented support rather than an I peel for everything, because I think Janna will face the exact same fate as the Karma, but of course we will talk about it straight after the ads. We're going to go on a short commercial break and we're going to be right back to break down the whole picks and bans phase. So stay tuned and we will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Europe Championship. My name is Tablik Paras, and I'm here with Kosari Masharopoulo. He's on this side. Yes, I did it correct this time. To bring you a little bit of an analysis of our draft that we just had. So, let's go back to it because we saw some very interesting picks played by some very interesting people. And
some very interesting choices.
I'm not gonna sit on the loose for too much because I'm very excited to play it in professional scene, especially by someone as good as Forgiven, ex-LCS player, of course. So I'm dying to see what he can do with a Lucian in his hands. I'm gonna leave it up to you though to break down a little bit what do you think went wrong or right in this picks and bans phase for both teams.
I think that Teutons kinda pulled out picks that they feel confident with. For example, Sparks in the mid lane with the Cassiopeia. Rengar is in a bit of style for dominant, for example. A true tank in the top lane. And a really aggressive bot lane. It's okay. Even in the last game, the composition was kinda similar for the side of Teutons. Too much aggression. Even in this game, too much aggression. Now, for the side of Wild, I have a lot of question marks about the Janna pick into Rengar. You need to perfectly time your tornado in order to stop him from engaging, or your monsoon. If you don't have the monsoon, then probably someone is dead, or you, or Ezreal, or Karma. Yes, you, or Ezreal, or Karma. Some of these three squeezy targets. Now, I like the Ornn pick. I like the Karma pick, but as you said, I would like to see, and I totally agree with you, I would like to see a heavy APC in the mid lane, because the MVP for the Wild side in the last game was the Orianna, yes. And now Karma, okay, it's a beautiful pick for the Aram. We all know that. It's a disgusting pick for the Aram, but in the competitive scene, and especially in the mid lane, I would like to see something else, especially against the Cassiopeia. Okay, the Cassiopeia was the last pick, but
my problem is not the Karma. Of course, the Teutons chose to have as the last pick their mid lane, so you have to blind pick something anyway, and the Karma was really not my problem. But if you choose to have a double shield composition, a double support composition, you need a very late game hyper carry like the Kai'Sa, like the Caitlyn, like the Varus, like the Kog'Maw. And guess what? Wild has none of that. Wild has the double tier mid lane oriented power spike Ezreal as ADC. And towards late game, I would focus personally more my shields on the Graves running into the enemy team and wreaking havoc in there, rather than the Ezreal. I feel like the Ezreal needs to stay in the backline, poke with his Q, maybe go for a gauntlet because there's a Rengar
again,
in there.
Sorry for Wild.
And look at that. Wild wants to invade right there, but everything has been awarded from the side of the Teutons, and they do want the red buff. But look at that. Rengar is right there. He can jump in at any point and smite the red buff. But look at that. He doesn't really want the red buff. He just wants the Graves. Graves is going to smite the red buff to get some life. Fucking who's that red buff gonna go to? It's going to be the Rengar. And yet again, the Teutons with the early game aggression. Here comes the Karma, but he has to flash away. Rengar flashes away also. First blood for the side of the Teutons, and another kill on the hands of the Mundo. And look at that. Ornn has been isolated from his whole team. His teammates are dead, and Dominant is going to get a second one 2 minutes into the game. And
okay, maybe Wild thought that Teutons never think that they will do the same exact same invade in the second game. But TT were prepared, and they punished 100% the aggressiveness of Wild, and now they have the upper hand since minute 1.
I said to you one thing when we started this draft and I saw the Graves insta-log. I said to you, pick whatever you want from the Teutons. Everything gets countered except the very aggressive picks. And don't forget, Dominant can pull out the Rengar whenever he actually wants to, and he's pulling him out here, and he does have the early game advantage versus the Graves, who smites the red buff first because he missed more of his HP. And Mundo early game, because he can spam his cleaver, does more damage than the Ornn. Yes, the Karma is able to join them first, but the Casio was there really fast. And look at that, Graves has been caught. He doesn't have a flash and he's going to be going down. Yet again, second time in 3 minutes, going down to the Cassiopeia this time, who is sitting with 3 assists and 1 kill in the mid lane. Oh my god. And I said
this
before,
game is gonna go the snowballing way if they keep doing such mistakes.
Wild lost the previous game by doing very rookie mistakes, and they're doing them again right here. You have no mid lane priority. You should not be pushing somewhere in fog of war against the Rengar, especially now that he's fed on 2-0-2. I don't know.
Let's see what they can do, because Wild are good on stalling, as we have seen in the last game, but now comes a question, a really big question that indicates maybe can TT snowball the game out of control, or can Wild stall it enough to go into a 6-40% in favor of TT mid game?
I'm just thinking of something else that I want to address with you. The fact that it feels like Wild start with the plan when the draft comes, and then midway through the draft, they're like, oh, they picked this, we have to counter it. Instead of trying to counter
the whole composition, they try to counter one pick.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of like, I love the start of their composition. They have the Ornn that can't get countered by the Braum because they had already picked the Rakan from the side of TT. They insta-lock the Graves first pick, and then they have the Ezreal as well. That's a really well-rounded composition. And then they throw in 2 support picks. I feel like you should have thrown in there the Orianna. You should have thrown in there the element of danger that Orianna is there, because if you have the Shockwave, you double think going in with the Rakan, you double think going in with the Lucian and the Rengar, and of course, Orianna can burn down a Mundo, throw in there the Malzahar. This could force so many QSSs out of the Teutons. Malzahar is not 100% in the meta right now, but he can stop the Rengar dead in his tracks. The second he jumps in, you ult him. The second Lucian gets in, you ult him. Rakan, flash away, ult him. You know, there were so many picks that Wild could throw in there that could throw the element of surprise for them and would push Teutons a little further back and make them second guess their engages. Right now, they've given them pretty much free engage. The second that if I was the Teutons, I would focus the Janna 100% every team fight. Taunt the Janna, one-shot her with the Rengar, and then you pretty much won the team fight. There's no peel anywhere else in the fight other than that Ornn ultimate. And then I think the Lucian has a free way in, the Casio has a way in, and of course the Mundo is gonna stick on somebody's face.
Remember the damage output of Lucian, the damage output of the Cassiopeia. Also the Miasma, that's a very useful tool. And the CDR into Rakan that goes wild after a point in the game. You have an engage tool in like every 10 seconds maximum, and that's really huge, especially in the mid game, because you can go in, go out with the shield, wait a little bit for the cooldown into the grand entrance, and then go in again. And it will be too much. Nevertheless, we will see, because as we were saying before, Wild have their own particular way.
Oh my god, and now as you say that the Ezreal dies underneath his tower with flash and heal and the exhaust on the Janna. I mean, I'm not gonna blame the Janna at this point, because the Janna has to actually get close to put that exhaust down, but dying as an ADC with double defensive summoners up, a little questionable right there. Maybe a miscommunication from the side of Wild.
Or maybe lag issues, but it's okay. They will have reported if it was so. But we will see.
You do see
again I was about to say that
board, but look in the bot lane. Forgiven was able to pull ahead almost 100 CS from his opposing ADC, and look at here, he's almost pulling away double CS up. And the Rengar wants to invade the Graves yet again. He is level 6. He is going to eyed the red buff, but the camera is right there. The Q is gonna go down with the mantra, and the wrong flash from the Rengar is going to cost his life. But look at all the damage Cassiopeia is able to put out. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Both jungles ended up dead. The miasma preventing the Graves right there from flashing away.
Nicely played, the invade.
Oh, flash forward and miasma onto the floor from the Cassiopeia. Third kill, I'm sorry, of the game, sitting on 3-0-3. And this is grim stuff yet again for Wild. 3k gold ahead. 8 minutes into the game this time, not 11.
You know what? Karma was going for it. With that HP, knowing that the Cassio has her flash up, you're going to push the wave. Better try to reset it. You have also TP. You can use it. That was a bit of greedy from the side of Karma for some CS, getting punished really hard. Now Cassiopeia is 3-0-0. It's too much. It's too much. 303. It's too much gold.
Here, of course, we're talking about the players as well being able to mentally reset after the first game. We talked about the players making mistakes. Sometimes it's hard for them as well to be able to reset and get into the next game. It feels like they got into this game carrying the loss from the last game on them and making sort of the same mistakes. Oh, the engage from the Rakan and beautiful Monsoon right there from the Janna to be able to save her ADC. But watch out, the Rengar is coming towards the bot lane. He has that ultimate up and available. Does he? I think he does. To me, at least, it shows that he does have it.
Yes.
No, it's on cooldown for a tiny bit more. It's up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. There we go. He's gonna pop the ultimate, and the Cassiopeia is right there as well. Let's see who's gonna be going down first. So far, they are surviving, but going down slowly but surely. Kama will be able to reply with 1 kill, and let's see if she can get anything more out of this trade. One more Q will do it, and she misses the Q, but the cannon minion is assisting her very well right there. Double kill. That's the 2-for-2 trade. I will give this to Wild since they put 4 players down there. But Teutons are taking the first tower of the game as well. So the trade goes back to them. And look at that. Graves is trying to pull another objective on the other side. Let's see if he's gonna be able to survive. One more Quiver will do it. Ultimate down onto the Mundo, but they can't really catch him. So the Rift Herald is going to belong to Wild for now. And this time they're actually gonna be able to claim it as well.
Mundo tried. I have to give it to him. And now the game is a little bit closer. But Wild need to be really careful in order to make the game
Here
even.
comes again. The stun is gonna run down onto the Karma, and they do want the Karma. Yeah, the Janna's in the as well. And the Rengar, and nobody has died yet.
I'm just waiting for the action to scale up. A little bit of skirmishes.
I don't think you call that a little bit of skirmish. The Rengar almost died right there. Trusha Baraz is going to miss for a tiny, tiny bit.
Do you call this a tiny, tiny bit?
And yet, he does not get out of Graves' jungle.
No.
He just doesn't. He's not giving up a single inch to the Graves. Is he gonna jump onto Janna? No, he gets spotted by the wood right there. And he is going to back away at last.
But giving a lot of free space for his team to work into this mid lane turret.
You see, the side of Wild are trying to get up to the Ezreal, but they know that the Rakan is there, and maybe could be the Rengar as well close. So you can't really be, they can't really be walking around their own jungle at this point. I think 4k ahead for the Teutons, 12.5 minutes into the game, is a big, strong lead, especially when you have an assassin like Rengar sitting on 2 kills. And of course your Cassio on 4, 0 and 4 in the mid lane.
It's like sometimes TT, even when the game is quiet enough, it's like they're creating their own goal difference out of nowhere. You see the game is quiet, both teams are farming, but TT grow their gold lead. I don't know how they do this, but I believe that
Here
this
comes
is
another route.
the
It's
key
going to land
factor.
on the Cassiopeia. Here comes the Graves. The smoke screen is going to go down, but a petrifying game on the Cass. Can she turn one kill back? She can, but she's gonna go down to the Karma on the other hand. And look at that Rengar. He does want revenge for his mid laner, but can he get it? If he gets into a bush, it's gonna be dangerous stuff. Bola is going to be landing onto the Karma, and you don't want to be changing him into these bushes. So it's gonna be called a day from both of them. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Jungler for mid laner.
And now the top laners are having a little bit of fun.
It's just a noodle fight. And here it goes on again.
And yet again, TT are pushing 3 lanes at the same time. It's like Wild missing one player to assist the side lanes.
We talked about this before. They put their resources, kill someone, and the Teutons reply to that super quickly. But here comes the Graves onto the top lane. Let's see if they're going to be able to get something done. Remember, the Rakan does have the taunt if he needs to use it. And Graves has gone very dangerous close to that Lucian. But here comes the Karma. And the Lucian down without getting anything back in return. Beautiful stuff this time for a while to be able to chain their TPs and their CC beautifully this time. Let's see if the root is going to go down. It is going to go down onto the Rengar. They are going to burst him down instantly. Another beautiful fight right there from Wild. And the Rakan has tanked one tower shot. Is he going to be able to get away? Petrifying Gaze is available. It's going to go down. It's going to completely stun the Janna and kill her, but now she has been caught in between 3 members of Wild. Can they get her down? Archangel staff has been popped for the seal, but beautiful Q right there for the Karma. Takes down the Rakan, and the Miasma is not going to do enough. Double kill for the mid lane of Wild, and look at that Mundo. Can he get something done? Shut down onto the Karma with the 6 kills, but now he's been chased away. There is no red buff onto the Grace. A beautiful flash right there from Freezy to get away from that ultimate, and then he goes straight back to his death!
Oh my god! Okay, take a breath. I'm not gonna analyze these extended skirmishes. I'm not gonna analyze it. They have a lot of fun. This is solo queue. This is textbook solo queue.
I wish that was a term. This is textbook solo queue.
And here comes Rengar yet again.
He gets the dive onto the grave. Destroys him completely. Remember, that is not even a dash plate Rengar. He has found himself a Janna. Is Janna gonna take her revenge back? She is. And there you go. You get the Janna. You don't see this very often. You get the Janna. Solo killing in brackets the Rengar.
It's solo queue. You see?
It's a solo kill. Yeah.
But with a big but, that the Teftons, yet again, after all these fights, they control the map. They have 3 lanes pushing down the side. While I don't even know how they do this, but they do this perfectly. Because while chasing, securing kills, the scoreboard is like 10, 13, and they manage to have bot lane kinda pushing towards them. They're gonna secure that it will push back. Mundo is in the top lane. They have vision around the dragon. They can secure it eventually after Rengar reaches the dragon pit. And I don't know how they do this, but yet again they are controlling the game.
I feel like Wild are very reactive to the moves of the Teutons right here. The Teutons will push every single lane. Look at that. Freezy is right now sitting in the top lane. Lucian has just pushed the bot lane, and they're all moving towards the dragon. They have 2 lanes pushing, and they could very well turn the sides onto the dragon. They're pushing 3 lanes at once. They let the Rengar free, you know, to get a kill into the jungle. They do this actively, while Wild needs to find an opening to make an active move. So most of the time, they end up being the team that's proactively playing the game. They see a Teutons move, and if they feel like with the move that Teutons did, they can react and create a pick for themselves, and then they make it happen. I haven't yet seen them create an opportunity from scratch. Because of the mistakes that they do early game, it pushes them so far behind that they're not allowed to do that.
Look at the top lane.
The top lane is like a complete fight at this point. Both of the top laners are doing the minimum damage to each other.
But the Teutons are kind of surrounding the wild jungle. You see, they try to push the same time the bot lane, the mid lane.
I like how this sounded, the wild jungle. And here comes the Lucian wants some blood right here. He's gonna catch himself a Graves, get him super low. Graves is gonna run towards his team. He has multiple shields right there he can rely on, but you don't want to be running back into the jungle, buddy. You just don't.
Yes, because there is a Rengar who is standing in 3, 4, and 5.
A Rengar that yet doesn't have a Dusk Blade. You wonder what's gonna happen to one of the squishy members of
Someone will explode after the Dusk Blade. Someone will explode.
He has found himself a Graves. Let's see if he's gonna be able to kill him right there. The Karma is gonna assist him, and the red buff Graves is gonna burn him away. Dominant, biting on more than he can chew.
That was close. That was really close, and the Karma Shield was like the change factor there. But again, I see that it
doesn't result on anything on the map.
Yes.
It's exactly
they're controlling the map.
They've pushed every single lane, and that's when they let the Rengar loose. And here comes the T3 ultimate is going to hit the other the Graves. Let's see if they're going to be able to get her. They do get her, but what in return? Again, they get the picks, but they get nothing on the map because everything is pushed. And that's exactly where I want to go. Is the cleaver going to hit? It is, and the Mundo will be getting the Karma or not. The Janna has arrived, and the Ezreal has arrived, and the has gone down onto the Mundo. Now he's the one that has to run away. Beautiful flash monsoon by the Janna to push him onto the tower. And is he going to be able to get away from that? No, he's not. Another kill claim from Wild. Really, really close stuff. Freezy thought the Karma was all alone, but she wasn't.
Just imagine the change of emotions for Freezy there. Okay, I got Karma, I got Karma. Oh, okay, that's real. And here's the Janna, and here's the Graves, and I have 4 people on me. Okay, at least.
It goes from one
Janna
person on 1 HP into facing 4 people, and here we see a 4v1 onto the Rengar. They have killed the Rengar, and that's what I like. Wild, proactive plays. Don't let the Teutons make the plays on you. You make the plays on them, because don't forget, if the Mundo is not there, they're just 4 squishy members. If one of them goes down, they don't have enough damage.
And look at the gold difference, how smaller it is now.
It was 4k before, it's gone down to 3k now, which means that Wild are closing the gap.
They're trying to... They figured out that they need to push in order to make picks. They need to siege. They need to try to take something out of the turn.
From the Rakan. Can they get anything out of them?
Oh my god.
Then they have their eyes onto the rest of the Wild. Has gone down, and he's not going to be getting anything from that. He's going to be going down slowly but surely right there. 2 forgiven, and they have got the Graves as well. Shut down for the Moon, and that's
Baron.
3 kills for 0 for the side of Teutons. And that was a 4v5 engage won by the Teutons, and that is most likely going to be a free Baron. Be careful, True Super Ads is still available for the Ezreal. I'm looking at the Ezreal.
What are the chances?
He has no mana! He has no mana for the True Super Ads! There is no chance of stealing this Baron. I had my hopes up. I had my hopes up for that old, and there was no mana.
But while
no mana to a double tier Ezreal.
Okay, it happens sometimes. That was a whole of a team fight with a whole Mundo running into you. Same health, you hit him and you kinda heal him with every hit you make in Mundo.
Oh, Janna has been caught. Let's see if the Rengar can get any down in
no.
No, it's not. Karma gets a kill. And yet again, we see Dominant biting on more than he can chew a lot this game.
Such as Wild did a while before, donating the Baron buff to Teutons. That was too much of pushing in the mid lane for them. Now they have the priority, they can do it, they have Ornn in the top lane, but Mundo is in the bot lane pushing with Baron buff. And now Mundo is coming into the mid lane.
There
You see
is one dragon spawn in
slowly,
35
slowly,
seconds as
sneaky,
well.
sneaky.
I'm not sure if you want to really fight this. The gold lead is not that massive yet. It's almost 5 to 5.5k gold lead. But then again, without your Rengar to pull out the Monsoon from the Janna, I don't know how much skill potential you have right there. I really want to see the Karma building a death cap at this point. Forget about the Morelos. Just go straight into death cap.
Okay, you need the Morelos for the Mundo, of course.
I think you should force a mortal reminder on the Ezreal or your Graves more than the Morelos onto your Karma. At this point, it's cheaper item. It does the exact same job. And then you allow your Karma to do more damage and of course more shielding with a death cap. Look at that. Freezy is chilling in the bot lane, gets the tower, backs off before Wild are able to do anything, while the rest of his team takes the Ocean Drake. Again, we see
And of course,
Wild
Cassiopeia pushing in the top lane.
not being active at all. They're not even being proactive at this point against the Teutons. They're just waiting for the Teutons to come to them, hoping that the team fight will somehow turn to their favor.
They will have their chances to do so. To fight their way maybe back into game. But now they have to deal with the lanes pushing. They have to face the Cassiopeia in the top lane. That's where Karma is. Freezy is pushing. Mid lane is pushing yet again. And of course you have
Look
Rengar.
at that. The Rengar is going to run into the Graves. So that's a pure 1v1 right here. Let's see if he can turn it around. No, he plays more cautiously this time. He has 7 deaths on his inventory. Doesn't want to make them 8. So he just plays cautiously, keeps the Graves busy, while both bot and mid and top are pushing with Baron buffs at the same time.
And the top lane tower is almost down by the
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia.
I think Wild need to pick a lane and pick a fight in this lane.
And push the enemy out of their territory.
For the top lane, and the Petrifying Gaze is going to catch Janna, and he's going to be going down.
God.
They thought they had the Ezreal. On the other side, the Graves is going to be down to Rengar. He's able to get out alive. But look at all the damage from the Ezreal cannot get away even with Iceborne Gauntlet. They're gonna try to walk out from the side of the Teutons, but the Mudo has been caught underneath the tower. I think he's gonna be going down here, and yes, indeed, he is gonna be going down to the Ornn. But look at that, mid lane inhibitor down, top lane inhibitor down, and I think everything has been done perfectly here by the Teutons, losing 2 people and earning 2 inhibitors.
They know how to play this kind of a split push. They have Mundo taking Wild's attention while Forgiven has a lot of time in the mid lane, taking the inhibitor.
Mistake that happened in this fight.
The
Janna with the Karma were top lane to catch the Cassiopeia with the Ezreal. The second the fight breaks out in the bot lane, the same second the fight breaks out between the Janna, the Karma, and the Cassio into the top lane, you see the Ezreal pulling away. He's the only one at the moment that has the damage to kill the Cassiopeia, and he completely pulled away from that 3v1 fight, trying to save the mid lane tower and join the bot lane fight, with this resulting in losing every single fight on the map for a while.
And of course now, TT have to wait for the Baron to spawn.
They have got the Cassiopeia all alone right there. There's nobody else who's going to be landing. Gets away with 1 HP, but no more. Flashes forward from the Ornn is going to get 1 kill for Wild. 3-man taunt right there from the Rakan, and the Janna instantly disappears. So does the Graves, and the Rengar has not yet been needed into this fight. Everyone is going to get involved right here, and look at the damage from the Ezreal is going to be getting the Rengar, but he gets knocked up and dead instantly. And this is a full man ace for the side of the Teutons, and I think this
who needs Cassiopeia?
I think this is most likely going to be game.
Yes, but who needs Cassiopeia? Here comes the banner of command. It's the game. You see, you cannot lock down.
Second Nexus Tower gonna be going down, and this is going to be a very, very clean, in brackets, sweep for the Teutons on their debut in our ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Europe Championship, and they're taking it on a 2-0. We're gonna go on a fast commercial break, and we're gonna be back to break down what we just saw. Stay tuned.
You ready? Huh? Hey, easy boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
I knew from the start, you my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arms. Now this don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, stay up and out with you till I die. How many times for you I'ma try? Want you to notice the one and I know this perfect soulmate. I wanna show it my best friend. She saved my life, my happy end in hard times.
Oh baby, hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself. I just want it. Hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself, to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself. I just want it. Hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself, to myself, hug it to myself. Oh baby. I rise like a phoenix, born from the ashes. I take care of my own. Torn down where assassins, you can't suffocate my spirit. 'Cause I'm the king of my own throne, my own throne. King of my own throne, my own throne. You'll never see me fall, fall. You'll never see me fall. Watch me reign, and I'll slay them all. Slay them all, slay them all. You'll never see me reign, and I'll slay them all. Slay them all, slay them all, slay them all. You'll never see the throne. King of my own throne, my own throne. King of my own throne. Born from the ashes, born from the ashes, born from the ashes. just born from the. You can't suffocate my spirit, 'cause I'm the king on my own throne, king on my own throne, my own throne. You'll never see me fall. You'll never see me fall. Watch me reign, and I'll slay them all. Slay them all. You'll never see the rain, and I'll slay them all. Slay them all. You'll never see the
cannot join the fight. Remember, he doesn't have 2 members of Wheel of Gaming are going to pay for this. Is going to be 3 and double kill. And as I was talking about, that gun will be far ahead.
Lion is in the top lane.
Lion is in the top lane again. He does have that teleport that he needs, and here comes the Rise ultimate. He's trying to get a kick onto the virus, but he gets Chain of Corruption in the face instead. Now they have got the Kai'Sa and shut down. Morgana's gonna go down as well. Nobody is taking care of that virus. And another tower going down for the side of Level Up Rhinos. 2 and 0, almost 6k, not almost 6k ahead for them. Braum is gonna pop the ultimate, and the Morgana literally dives into the backline with her ultimate. A slip going to land onto the graves, and he just disappears. The Braum is going to be the one next, and then Lucian is trying to do as much damage as possible, but not going to be enough. The Morgana is going to survive, and the Zinza, no! He's gonna go down, flash away from the On, who's gonna slowly but surely be going down. Triple kill for the mid laner of Level Up Rhinos, and they are going for the last Mosquito Tower. That's still standing. That could be a very dangerous move. The stun from is going to land right there. Braum, knock up, and they disappear. Same as the Graves. Beautiful stuff right there from the side of Wheel of Gaming. 3 members of Red Star going down. The Sun is going to land onto that Kama as well. Q is going to completely miss. Killing spree. Triple kill for the mid laner of Wheel of Gaming right there. And I think this is pretty much. But is he going to be going down? The heal from Janna actually is the thing that's gonna be saving him, and they are stopping Rakan down there. The Ornn has popped the ultimate, trying to stop the Rakan, but look at that gunner from the side. He just tries to get close to Rift, but he can't because there's so much damage coming out from Rift. And look at that backline. They are so low. He's flashing in, but he's going to die straight away. And all of Rift are on 5 HP. They are going to manage to get that Janna down, but
here comes on.
Like it's gonna go down. Nilau is gonna go down.
Quadra kill
for the ADC of Rift. They are chasing. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Southeast Europe Champions Season 7. I'm Jojo Tapalik here with Kosta Mesaropoulos to bring you a little bit of an analysis of the previous game and, of course, to introduce you into our next Special 3, which is going to be a Serbian showdown between X25 Esports and the Level Up Rhinos. I'm going to give it up to you to explain to me what we just saw in the previous game, and then we can jump straight into this one.
I think that we do not have that much to say about the previous game, and especially the previous series, because Titans seem to be like a team that knows exactly what to do, and at the same time have a lot of fun. Because we have seen Dominant doing whatever he wants into the jungle. It's okay. You can have 7 deaths, but
You
if
can have
you
7 or 8 deaths, right?
okay, if you have fun and your team is still into the objectives, doing a lot of stuff. If we can put a title into the whole previous series, we can say that the Teutons control both games, even though the pick and ban phase, especially in the first game, seemed like Wild had the upper hand. Now, Teutons controlled the game always through split pushing and pushing the whole 3 lanes at the same time, and of course not taking any risks, especially around their carries, especially around Forgiven, and especially around Sparks into the mid lane. So I should say that the previous game was a bit clean, even though Wild tried to fight their way back into the game.
Basically, what we keep from the previous game before we jump, and as you see the roster of X25 right now,
Too
basically
many people.
the previous best of three was miscommunication mistakes from Wild that were clearly taken advantage of surely and fast by the Teutons. They are a very good team. They have Forgiven in there. If he knows how to punish mistakes, that is of course him. He has stood against much stronger teams in Worlds as well. So let's talk a little bit about, like I said, the Serbian showdown that we have right in front of us. X25 versus the Level Up Rhino. Give me a little bit of an insight on what you think is going to happen between the two teams as the people right now are looking at the roster of the Level Up Rhinos.
We have seen that the Level Up Rhinos is a team that can punish mistakes early and use this advantage in the early game, trying to snowball it through the mid game and then practically smash the enemy into brute forcing fights, brute forcing structures, and controlling the whole game. Now, on the other hand, we have the X25 that we have seen them into the qualifiers, but we don't have a clue about how it's going to be their performance into the group stage. We know that they have a lot of players that have played before into a team. We know that there are subs. There are a bit more subs than other teams. That means that you have more options to throw someone into the game and try to make this player a change factor into a best of three. But we haven't yet seen what X25 could deliver into a best of three, especially into the group stage situation. Now, the Level Up Rhinos have shown us, as I was saying, the mid game power spike that they prefer into most cases, but they have shown us that they can clearly close the games out fast and in fashion. And X25 has to be really careful about it, because if they give Level Up Rhinos even half of an advantage, they can snowball it to the end of the game and finish the game into 23, 25 minutes, 27 minutes, and a lot of other stuff. Now, what do you believe about the picks? I mean, like, we have seen the Ezreal from the side of the Level Up Rhinos, even the first Lucian, if I'm not mistaken, from the side of Level Up Rhinos. But what do you expect today?
Well, we do have some players on both teams that are known for their champions. For example, the support for the Level Up Rhinos is Panjay. He is known for his Rakan. He is known for his Thresh. And of course, from the other side, from X25, we have Delito in the top lane who pull the scenes out against an Ornn. So this could be an advantage to X25, leaving the Ornn open, countering in brackets with the scenes. You don't really counter an Ornn in the top lane, but you can delay him. You can keep him basically in his lane, but getting the scenes back there and start to proxy in the wave. You can keep an Ornn in his lane, or he's going to lose his tower. He's going to lose a lot of CS. He's going to lose of experience. On the other hand, if you do have the sins in the top lane, you need to have a very aggressive jungler on your side. You need to have the Graves, so in case your sins gets countered in the top lane, and by countered I mean that Level Up Rhinos do pick the Ornn and they choose their jungler and they choose to bring the jungler in the top lane to stop the scenes dead in his tracks, stop the proxying, get him behind to a point where if he proxies again, he dies, get the Talia in there. But talking about all that stuff, here we go into a picks and bans phase, our first picks and bans phase of this best of 3 between the two Serbian teams. And we see straight out of the bat for X25 Esports, we have the Camille, the Vladimir, and the Aurelia out. And Level Up Rhinos are specifically targeting ADC spots. We have the Kai'Sa, the Ezreal, and now the Rakan band. What do you think is going to be a first pick? Is it going to be like something like an Ornn
Graves open.
Or Graves or Skarner maybe?
I don't know about your love around Skarner. You know, you kind of prefer Skarner a little bit more than other days today, but there is
first pick.
Okay, that's questionable. I mean, there is Graves open, there is Ornn open. There are a lot of stuff that sign into this meta, and you first pick Karma. That's a big question, but I want to see
here. I'm sorry to interrupt you. A Braum pick straight away, and there you go.
A Braum and an Ornn.
A Braum and a Graves.
Or Braum and Ornn.
You can give the Ornn to X25, and like I said, counter it with the Singed on the other side. But is it going to be the Varus? Because then that leaves open Braum and Ornn for the side of X25.
And they have choked down the ADC pool, banning out Kai'Sa and Ezreal, and pretty much forcing X25 into a hyper carry.
Maybe a Caitlyn?
A Caitlyn, a Kog'Maw.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Caitlyn Karma lane is very strong against the Braum Varus. So
But
I don't know if Level Up
Caitlyn...
Riders are playing against them right now.
You know, pick and ban phase is... Okay, let's wait a bit. It's locked. Right.
I think it's the first time I'm not happy to see a Lucian locked, especially against a Varus.
Where is
lane.
Ornn?
I don't know. I think if
Ornn...
he doesn't go through here, I would love to see the Level Up Rhinos pick him. At this point, X25 Esports cannot pick the Ornn. They cannot pick him at all. The Braum is locked in on the other side. Level Up Rhinos have the pull to be able to pick the Ornn or the Graves right here. Trundle pick. They have the stronger bot lane since the Caitlyn was not locked in. The Lucian is, and they prefer to go with the stronger top laner. Weird stuff from both of the teams. I would love to know. Like, this is why I say Control can I have like whoever is behind picking, because I would love to hear about, you know, the thoughts behind drafts that happen in this game.
It's pretty interesting because you see that the Graves, Kai'Sa, Morgana, and Ornn are like 100% pick and ban rate, and X25 kinda ignore the Ornn. I don't know if they have in mind. Maybe they think they have a counter in the top lane, especially for Ornn. So you say that, okay, Level Up Rhinos, you can take the Ornn, but we have an ace into our sleeves. So we're going to throw this into the game like a last pick into our composition. And here comes the Graves ban. But we have Talia. And the Talia jungle in the last phase of 3 that you have your inside intel is now a trend into Korea.
It could be a trend, but it could also
be the Talia jungle is now a trend.
I would love, since they've locked in the Lucian, I want to see the Karma going in the mid lane.
A flex pick.
And I want to see
I'm not hearing you.
Okay, hello? I hope you can hear me. I want to see...
I'm trying to, but I'm not.
Singed. There comes the Singed that we talked about with the Ornn counter pick, but this time it's the Level Up Rhinos that have the Talia. So if the Singed overextends, they can stop him dead in his tracks. And I want to see a Lulu locked in for X25 Issues. I want to see a frontline Lucian, since they're locked in the Lucian and not the Caitlyn. I want to see a dancing Lucian composition. It was one of my favorites back then, and it's going to be...
Tarek.
Okay, up to you. It's back to you.
Okay, should I take it? Look into the Yasuo, and here we have a hype train to go on. You will have a Karma in the mid lane versus a Yasuo.
Exactly. Again, we do see
Talia
jungle. The jungle, but we're gonna talk about this straight after a short commercial break. So stay tuned, and we're gonna break down the whole picks and bans phase in just a little bit.
days you feel like a rock star, and some days you feel like a disco queen. With Spotify Premium, you can play the perfect song for however you're feeling, without ads interrupting your flow. And with offline listening, you can take your music with you wherever you go. Get 3 months of Premium now for just 99 cents.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Europe Championship. I'm Jojo Tablik Baras, and I'm here with Kostya Masaropoulos to break down a little bit the picks and bans phase. And if you hear this from outside, it's a giant storm that's coming towards where I'm living. So hold on tight for that.
Okay. I think you will survive this giant storm that is coming your way, but I'm not sure that we will survive these team compositions. Okay, I'm just joking. X25 composition, it's pure diamond. If you see it like in a closer, if you take a closer look in there, you will see the Taric and the Karma around the Lucian with a beefy front line that can trundle B. And of course, there is the most annoying thing, one of the most annoying things in the game, and that's Singed. And that's a good counter into Warden. So they kind of focused a little bit in the mid game where Lucian signs, mid to late game, and they want to offer him the ultimate protection with the shield in front of him, the ultimate that makes him invulnerable with the Taric, and then a ton of shields with the Karma. Now, on the other side, we have a Yasuo that stands against the Karma, and it's one of my favorite matchups since Yasuo landed into the competitive play. We have a Talia in the jungle, if I'm not mistaken. And we have a bot lane that can smash the face of Lucian and Karma if you give them the chance with the concussive blows and all of these things. And I think that in the mid game, one of the crucial factors into a 5v5 team fight will be that weird sticky thing that Singed throws just to be under Ornn. If Ornn misses the horn, you break the CC chain, you break the whole CC train from the side of Level Up Rhino. So I'm going to have a really good time into these matchups, and I think that is the key for both teams in order to go take the step ahead, to take the advantage, and then try to snowball the mid game.
So the question right now is where both teams are going to choose to go for. You talked about the Diamond team on X25 and
the Diamond factor in the team of X25.
The Diamond factor, of course. But what I don't see a lot of is Burst. Yes,
okay.
You do have the Karma in there. You do have the Lucian in there. But that's more of like the Karma actually becomes a support late game. Like she's not even there. And by picking a Taric, you want to have these tower dives. You might want to get your scenes in the bot lane, get a 4v2 happening with the Trundle down there as well. And on the other hand, their bot lane is a Braum Varus, not the easiest to dive. Chain of Corruption and Braum Ultimate are very strong, especially when you're trying to dive them, stopping you dead in their tracks. And what I just want to say is the fact that when you have a Varus and a Braum, it takes some, I would call it courage, play Singed into this composition, because Chain of Corruption usually stops you dead in the tracks. But I'm really surprised that the Level Up Rhinos saw the Singed and they didn't go instantly for the Rise in the mid lane, but they chose to go for the Yasuo, which makes sense because 3 out of their 5 members, 4 actually, if you count the Yasuo in, can knock up someone. So they're thinking more rounded, something that Wild in the previous game didn't do. They're thinking more of like the team comp they wanted to play rather than change that into something to counter X25's composition right here. What do you think about the very late Graves ban? He got banned last. That was the last ban of X25.
I'm not sure why both of these teams didn't go for the Graves, but it's like maybe they focused on other things. Maybe that's the more crucial thing for both of these team compositions, because Graves, in my opinion, is great for both these teams. They have shown us that they can play the Graves, especially the level up Rhinos, but you may see a lot of things. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Okay, I am in Greece, and you know that we are somehow like behind the sun in terms of internet connections. So I was saying that both of these teams didn't prioritize into Graves because maybe they had in mind, like before the pick and ban phase, that they wanted these picks.
And we have just gotten into the Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what game we're going to see. It is, of course, a Serbian showdown. Both teams from Serbia wanting to prove...
We will have a Serbian winner.
Exactly, we'll have a Serbian winner 100%. And one of these two want to prove which one is the better Serbian team. And they can do it right here. What a better game to prove this in than playing against another team from the same exact country.
Let's see how they will approach the early game, both these teams. Because they have players that can play aggressive, especially the first minutes of the game, but they have players that have a lot of patience into, especially a losing matchup into the laning phase.
And I just want to say how much more sense makes the Leah into this composition, because you have the Brom to engage fights, you have the Ornn to engage fights, and your Talia kind of becomes like your mid laner. You know, she doesn't have to be the one engaging, but they have got Yasuo into the mid lane, putting a little bit damage down, but he does have the windshield, so he's not going to take almost any damage, exactly. But right now, it just, like, we saw Talia last time, first time from the start, but they have such a squishy composition where the Talia was not able to completely shine and show potential. But right here, with two tanks, with the Chain of Corruption from the Varus, with the Yasuo being in the enemy team, you kind of forget and ignore the Talia because there are other dangers in front of you that you need to take care of first if you're X25. So let's see if this Talia from your favorite in-game name is going to work.
He will rule the jungle.
Okay, let's see. The first stun has landed on the Varus. A little bit of trades back and forth.
You will see a lot of them, especially in the bot lane. Both the supports are melee ranged. They have practically no range. And the only thing that can get you closer to the enemy ADC, it's the stun from Taric and the Q from Rom. So we may see a bit of this trade early in the laning phase.
How I see the X25 composition work, and only work like this, is if I see a Righteous Glory or a Sorelias on Sins, massive Karma Shields, pop the Taric ultimate, and literally all dive into the level up Rhinos composition. But how do you dive into a Chain Corruption and a Brom ult and a Talia wall and an Ornn ult? I don't know, it's just way too complicated. Ooh, Trundle has to flash here from the knockup from Talia. Good counter gank right there. And look at that, the Saints is becoming a nonsense for the Ornn right now. He's one of the most annoying, if not the most annoying top laner to play against. Maybe Sion is equally as annoying. Oh, has to flash away right there, actually. All right.
A lot of action. Another flash.
Was that a flash from Talia now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Spectator moved away from a second right there. That was another flash from Talia, and now we have, in total, 3 summoners down in 3 minutes. That's good. That's equal. We have summoner per minute.
They value what you say sometimes.
Talia has crossed the ward from the river, and Sins has not started moving, and he has already burned his flash. Look at the damage that he is doing onto the Ornn right now. The Ornn cannot get back into the fight, so it's all up to the Taliyah to finish up these scenes, and it is going to be the case. 1 kill for the Taliyah jungle, and 1 pause.
Just because we both casting a game. You know, the best of 3, the first best of 3 of the day was ideal, but now we will have a pause.
All right, we have some technical issues into the game, and we're going to get back to it. But check it out this time. We do have a Taliyah that's super ahead in the game. And she
with a red buff.
Exactly, with a red buff. And she has 1 kill already into the game, 3 and 53 seconds into the game. That's 4 minutes in. And she has already a kill that puts her ahead of the Trundle. And she can now choose where she wants to create the plays rather than being reactive with the wall.
We will see where will they prioritize, and now
Trundle into the middle. Remember, the Yasuo has Ignite and he has a but he's gonna go down not using the flash. Right there, the Trundle did not have flash. He'd already used his wind wall, so the Karma Q would not go through. So I'm not sure why he chose to use his Ignite right there, but not the flash.
Slow reactions, I think. So far into this game, players seem a little bit rusty for both sides, but they will eventually face this fact. And I want to see how Taliyah can help the Ornn in the top lane, because Singed is a little bit of problem, you see. Even denying the CS under the turret from Ornn. Taric is going to the mid lane with Lucian. Being around the dragon so far. And now they will go back.
And here I am again. I think the storm is taking a beating onto my internet as well at this point. We're having some issues, but we're going to resolve. Doesn't matter. We do have a full best of 3 in front of us. And here comes the dash forward to stun the Varus into the bot lane. 2 stacks on each of the members. Another stun comes down onto the Lucian, but the Ignite going down onto the Varus. He might have to heal this. No! Oh my god, one more tick would do it! And look at that. He keeps himself calm and he says, okay, 1 more tick, I can take it. The precision from the 87 level up Rhinos with 5 HP to survive this and not heal.
It was like no HP found there.
My god.
That was so close. But he has his heal up and his support has Ignite up. So in the next raid, they will have the advantage, even though Lucian has heal up.
Exactly. Heal is not so much of help when the other support does have that Ignite up, so it's going to be fine.
More than fine. If used properly by Braum, the healing will be reduced in a decent amount. Or maybe Trundle is in trouble. Oh! Or missed the horn.
He misses the horn, but it doesn't matter. He goes down anyway to the Taliyah. 2nd kill of the game, and now the scene trouble. Will anyone be able to kill him? Yes, it is going to be the Taliyah. Double kill for the side of the level up. Rhino sitting on 3 and 0, and the Ornn, of course, supporting her all the way with 3 assists.
They need to split the gold now. Taliyah needs to stop last hitting the enemies, maybe.
I mean, I'd be fine if I was Taliyah. Against a Trundle, you do
so
need
am
to
I, but
ahead. I just want to see a little bit more of Yasuo action because we don't get to see it that often.
Look at the zoning from Lucian and Taric.
Especially because the Varus doesn't have his flash, and Lucian can dash forward at any time to flash the Varus. It's really hard to play against this lane when you're flashless as a Varus, especially when you don't have Chain of Corruption up to stop the Lucian dead in his tracks. So that's why the level up Rhinos bot lane is playing with a little bit of caution, still able to last hit about 10 CS behind though. And here comes the dash forward that we talked about, and this heal is not going to be saving the Varus at all. One more hit will do it, and he gets stunned. Taric has to flash forward to get the kill, and the Trundle has arrived in time as well. But will the Braum be going down? Beautiful wall right there from Italia to save his mate, and the Ornn has arrived as well. Another Taric stun is going to save himself, but he's not going to save his ADC.
Oh my God.
Going down to the Ornn this time. One more hit will do it onto the Taric. Is he going to be able to get in? No, she's not. There is no flash available. And they're both going to run away with so low health. And look at the Yasuo being hurt so much into the mid lane that Aaliyah really wants some blood right there. She's not giving up.
But since look how much time has in the top lane, almost finishes the first turret.
And that's exactly why we said that the Synth is a counter to Ornn, because you definitely want you take the Ornn in the draft to have him late in the team fight, to get a flank TP, to get this ultimate into the team fights. If you have the Ornn split pushing, he's pretty much useless to you, so you might as well have like another champion split pushing, like a Jax, a Fiora, a Camille, anything that's aggressive and can do damage to towers. This is why Synth is so annoying. He's never gonna leave his lane until very late when he already has both towers in his lane, and then he's going to run you down with his ultimate later into the fights, while the Ornn is trying to push away a wave. And if he doesn't, then the Synth stays in his lane and perma pushes it. So somebody has to reply to that Synth. Most likely later in the game might be the Aaliyah that has the wall to join her team.
It would be interesting, especially going into the mid game, because there are a lot of strong picks that you can play into the top lane, such as Fiora and Jax, that can split push for ages, never join the fight, or join the fight just to clean it up. And they selected Synth that Synth has an impact into your game plan. For example, after a stage of the game, when he can get his passive, the movement, the increasing movement speed, going all around the team fight, flipping the target that you need, turning them back into your team. And now Karma...
Oh, here comes, we might see the ulti from the Yasuo. He does have the ignite. Beautiful flash right there from Karma to be able to get away from that ultimate proc from the knock-up right there.
Do they know that he is
tornado. I don't think they know. He has been very sneaky. Is there a ward in this push? There might be, I'm not sure. And here comes Italia. They do want to get started. Chain of Corruption is going to miss, which means that the bot lane of X25 is now free to farm underneath their tower.
Yes, and now they will focus for the Drake. And that's the best thing that they can do now.
Yes, because we have priority right now. We're gonna see the 1v1, but the shield is going to save the Karma. I thought this was her life for sure, but I thought wrong. It's going to be her backing off, and her teleport is coming up in about 5 to 10 seconds, so it's not going to hurt her that much. Trundle is going to clean the rest of her wave, or help her clean the rest of the wave. And Talia is right there to help her mid lane. Let's see if they're going to be able to get a kill. Q from the Karma is going to land though, and Trundle can get the last hit. Look who's joined them. The Synth is right there. Shut down for the Karma, and that's 2 kills for X25 in return for just 1.
You see the Mantra W there by Karma, beautifully played. You first rush your shield, trying to protect yourself, and then Mantra W for the healing effect, beautifully played from the mid lane of X25 there, staying alive, and then they can do.
Gorgeous stuff right there. Since there wasn't any ignite from the Yasuo, there was nothing to pretty much stop the healing from the W. So indeed, like you said, very, very well played to use the Mantra with the W and heal herself up.
That was really nice. So they, using this, they could change the course of the team fight.
Wall. Chain of Corruption is coming off of cooldown any time now, and we might see an engage right here. Level Rhinos. There is no flash on any of the 2 bot laners of X25, and Braum is gonna go down. There wasn't any heal on the Varus to be able to defend his support, and of course no flash on the Braum is going to cost his life. 4-man bot lane for X25. Beautiful stuff so far. Coordinating their defenses very well.
They are reacting, and they are reacting really well into the plays that the level up Rhinos trying to make, especially around the bot lane and the mid lane. Seems is on point.
Right now available. Heal is going to be popped. And the Talia is going down since the Ignite was popped on her. And he'll look up, but who's there though? The Dark Ultimate has been popped.
Bye
The
bye.
level up Rhinos need to run. And Varus is gonna be going down so fast. He did not even see it coming. Straight away teleport from the Kame to the mid lane to not lose any farm. Again, beautifully coordinated stuff from X25.
And if I were Yasuo, I wouldn't go there to the bot lane turret. Maybe back into my mid lane. Because this turret is way dead now.
Alright, let's see. Let's have a look at the CS all around the map. Always 1v1 going on into the top lane. The Q going to Yasuo with no follow-up. He doesn't have Ignite either. And the Talia is lurking on the back. They do have a pink ward in that bush, so the Karma was able to notice that the Talia was really close if she was able to engage a fight. And let's have a look-see at the CS. We have the Lucian ahead in CS, mid lane ahead in CS, and top lane ahead in CS. Every single person except Talia is ahead for X25, which is really good for them. The stun is going to miss right there from the Taric, and the Q is going to land onto the Yasuo. The question is, does Since dive? The answer is no.
Popped out the ultimate though, for the extra speed.
I mean, he could possibly get a flash out of the Yasuo. Never is worth to pop the Since.
If you had a flash, the Yasuo might be dead. But since with not flash, it's not that much of a threat. Yes. You know, he has the slow. You know, when he's going to flip you back, you can create the distance. With the flash, it's really difficult.
We do have a Mountain Drake down in the bot lane. There are no teleports available for the set of X25. Ornn does have his teleport, and look at him, he is struggling so much with that Sin constantly pushing the wave. The Trundle has already started this Mountain Drake, but he doesn't have support from any of his teammates so far. Look where the Karma is, so far away. No teleport, which means that the Dragon is gonna get priority for the side of the level up Rhinos. Tiny mistake right there from X25 that gets instantly punished. They don't have a Karma. Karma no teleports, is not able to join. That's an instant 4v3 for the level up Rhinos. They take it any day, and they take the Dragon with them.
And now they need to defend the mid lane turret. It's the last turret standing in X25 way in order to open the map and create plays, especially around big
Knocking
objectives.
the Trundle back, and he is gonna get some damage from the tower as well, but no kill yet. Or is it? It is going to be the Trundle in the end going down, and the Brom is gonna pay as well. Triple man knockup from the Ornn, flash away from the knockup from Talia by the Karma to save her life on the last second, and that was such a chaotic dive. And I thought that almost no one would die, but the Trundle survives the last second and dies right after. Another knockup that didn't happen right there. The stun is not going to land by the Taric, and we have a constant back and forth. But look how many low health bars on the side of the level up Rhinos. They need to back away, which is going to most likely mean free tower for X25 in the mid lane.
Of course, this tower is really low, and it's impossible to survive. And of course, level up 9 Rhinos took the correct decision to back off and try to reset, try to push the side lanes because they have a kind of priority in the top lane. Someone has to go there and push a little bit. Again, in the top lane, there's a turret standing. It's 3-4-0 turrets so far, and they need to focus on objectives.
There we go, you said they need to focus on objectives. The whole level up Rhinos are in the mid lane and ready to go. Look how spread
Time
up
for
X25 is. And this is going to mean that they get a free, if I've seen one, mid lane tier 1 tower. And they could probably turn their focus onto that Rift Herald, which I'm pretty sure that's where they're going towards.
Maybe yes or maybe no.
And they made me lie. They're not going towards the Rift Herald.
No, because Lucian is in the top lane and they don't have priority in the top lane. So they took kind of the correct decision. Someone has to answer the split pushing in the bot lane. So they will leave it for maybe later. Or they will give the X25 the priority to go and secure this Rift Herald. And I think they will do so in a while.
So we do have 2 major items completed for both ADC. Rage Blade from the side of Varus and Blade of the Ruin King, almost Essence River for the Lucian on the other hand. And let's see, both of the teams have gathered around the Rift Herald. They have got the Yasuo, but Rom jumps forward like the good support he is to save his mid laner right
Here
there.
comes a little from the side, dodging the chain of corruption.
Coming from the side, and he is going to flink back the Talia. Look at all this damage, but she is going to flink him back herself in return. Another knock-up landing onto the... But he can't die! Ornn is not there, and he can't join because he doesn't have a teleport heal on the last second from the Varus to save the Yasuo. And look how healthy the whole team of X25 is, just for one Singed, sitting very, very low.
You see Yasuo melted with the ultimate from Trundle there. Too much damage, and they now can secure the Rift Herald.
Very easy Rift Herald indeed for X25 right now. Sitting on about 3,000 gold head. It's not a huge gold difference at 19 minutes. We've seen 3,000 8 minutes today. Ornn Horn is going to be popped, and he's going to miss the knockup, but it doesn't matter. Talia is there, and let's see if they can get that kill. They are chasing on top of that smoke, and the Synth has Liandry's completed. They can't catch him yet, but look how long got the Talia. He's gonna burn. No, he's not gonna get the kill. He's just going to go down, and he needs to be careful because Talia is fed. And she does do a lot of damage when she can connect the spells from the Synths running away. On the other side though, look at X25 having their eye onto objectives, popping the Rift Herald in the top lane, getting the tier 2 tower straight away, and chasing that Yasuo.
Just zoning stuff. Even though bot are activated by Lucian, more than like zoning. And the Rift Herald is kinda dodging everyone.
They have got the Trundle all alone though. He's gonna get stunned, knocked back, and deaded. And that kill actually goes to Yasuo this time, who can really use a kill right now, having completed his Phantom Dancer so far. He doesn't do as much damage as he would be hoping to do at 20 minutes into the game, but a kill is definitely going to help boost that damage by adding a few more items into his inventory.
It was like all the money into Talia's pocket, the game that Level Up Rhinos played in the early game. So now Varus is taking some resources, Yasuo is taking some resources. You have an Ornn that is really strong, 1-0-4, 1-70 CS almost. So they need to try to do something as a whole now. Try to maybe punish the X25.
They have seen the Trundle in there. He's all alone. Chain of Corruption is going to land. Everything is going to land. But he's not going to die. And look how low he has gotten. The Ornn is going to blow the horn. But the Talia is really low. The Ignite's going to go down. And look at this flank that's coming in. 2 people dead so far. And there's a huge massacre going on. So many people are trying to run away from the Level Up Rhinos. They are going to burst the flower. But nobody's going to jump forward. And the pillar is going to stop everyone dead in their tracks. But double kill for the Lucian. Make it a triple kill for the Lucian. And the Yasuo is trying to run into no man's land. He's going to knock up both of them. But the pillar is up and running. And maybe we do get another kill. It's an ace for X25. 21 minutes 30 seconds into the game.
Baron is up, but you don't have priority into the lane, so they can secure the dragon, go for the bot lane turret, and try to look for a fight like this, especially a 5-0 fight, such like this, and then they can secure the Baron.
That Trundle survived for so long right there. He literally got every CC put on him. Yasuo knockup, Prom ult, everything landed on him. And yet it was enough of time for the karma to get there. Him flashing away, getting the shield and running out. Ornn very greedily trying to get him with the Horn instead of trying to build for his team for the upcoming team fight. Maybe costed Level Up Rhinos that team fight right now.
And now maybe Lucian is in trouble.
Lucian is going to dash straight through that wall. Very mobile AD. And question that you raised at the start of the game, maybe Talia should stop last hitting these kills. because they could be more useful maybe on the Ornn or the Yasuo. Because right now you see yes, Taliyah is doing a lot of damage, but it's not resulting in any of the kills. So maybe a couple of these kills on the Yasuo could have helped the damage a little bit more.
Yasuo needs to scale up, and that's a necessity for the side of Level Up Rhinos if they have in their mind to come back into the game. Although X25 may have found a way to punish Level Up Rhinos trying to find some picks onto the map. If they commit like this, like the last fight they did, they will secure eventually more kills, and of course the big objective in the map that is Baron right now, and it's live and waiting to be slaughtered.
And you see how X25 instantly goes there. There is the scenes and the Gen of the Brawler to stop Varus from getting anywhere near his own tower. Beautiful stuff right there from X25, chaining their CC to perfection right now. The Sins is not getting out of there though. He wants more, and the Lucian flashing forward to get the kill onto the Taliyah. This could mean Baron. Taliyah is down, which means the smite is down, which means that Baron could be given to X25
Baron
for
free.
free. Remember,
It's
there is an
definitely
ultimate onto the Ornn, and nobody from X25 can stop this one. Yasuo could get in with his ultimate. There is the ignite. Let's see what level up Rhinos can't do with their ultimates chained up. Here comes the Ornn. Is he gonna pop the ultimate? No! He chooses to just walk into the pit without using the ultimate, and this is going to be a free Baron from X25.
The change factor is the Trundle cooldown there. He had his ultimate again after using it to close the distance into Braum and Varus when Varus died, and now had the ultimate again up for this team fight. And Ornn didn't had his mind that May Trundle has ultimate again up.
I mean, even if he didn't, you don't really
Look the cooldown. Look at the cooldown on the left. Almost up again.
You don't really face check into 5 members of X25 trying to Baron. You have your ultimate, you could cause a disruption. Yasuo could go straight in and follow up your ultimate, but he just chose to literally face check without even having a flash right there. Questionable decision by the top laner of Level Up Rhinos. And right now, I just see that the Yasuo, when you see a Yasuo forced into more of a defensive build, you know that stuff is really tough for your team.
Really tough and really sad for the Yasuo mains. I kinda know a lot of them. And I know their grief into situations like this when they are forced into building up defensive items trying to survive.
Let's see if they can make a defense here. The Ornn horn has been blown. Let's see if he can get anything. Tariq ultimate goes down and Trundle dies right before pops. Look at the Sin's flank though, yet again. The Yasuo definitely dead. And we get another one. Double kill for the Lucian. He keeps on chasing. Will he go inside the base? He will! He's trying to get more members. Triple kill for the Lucian. What is he doing? Is he crazy? He's going for the Ornn. He does forward and get his own pentakill, but no. He's going to choose to play for his own team. And this Lucian has lost his mind. We doubted the peak of the Lucian. We said Caitlyn was better. And they were like, no, we know what we're doing. And they're proving it here. 10, 1, and 4 onto that Lucian. And X25 could be finishing the game right here and right now.
They have the minions, they have the Baron, and Level Up Rhinos has not enough wave clear to secure that these minions will lower the turret armor and magic resist.
Yasuo wants a little bit of that action, but he gets flung away from the X25 squad, and they can't finish right now. Remember, it's still 27 minutes into the game. The death timers are pretty low, so Level Up Rhinos have one Nexus tower to still defend their Nexus, and of course 2 inhibitor towers and the inhibitors themselves.
But if they choose the wrong fight and 2 or more members of their squad end up dead, then X25 can go brute forcing and destroying the entire base of Level Up Rhinos. So they need to be really careful when to fight and where to fight.
You know, I have been thinking all this time, if your Lucian plays so aggressive, this is literally like a line Lucian. Like the Sins gets in there and all the rest of the fight, the Lucian's like playing tank, but doing way too much damage, you know, playing in the front line. Imagine how crazy that would be if there was a Lulu instead of the Taric, because so far, yes, Taric provides the stun,
And the stats from the armor.
Yeah, exactly. But you see the Trundle dying right before the ultimate pops. So imagine like a subjugate and ultimate right on the Trundle. That would be insane. That Trundle would literally never die. Or even a knock-up ultimate from the Lulu onto the Synth. I'm just making my own assumptions here. I'm just dreaming. I'm dreaming of stuff.
You would like to see the Lucian Lulu combo because it's really strong.
Especially
and it's nice
as
to
the
see.
from X25 show us here, he can really handle his frontline Lucian. We've seen an amazing game from him so far. And let's see as X25 are pushing both top and mid lane, where their only inhibitor towers for level up are remaining.
They can secure this inhibitor. Maybe they have a really big wave if they are able to protect it, but there is also a Synth in the top lane trying to push.
And now he's joining his team. He is trying to flank yet again. His flanks have been working. Don't let the stats deceive you. The 2, 3, and 10. He does still have
It's 10 assists.
Yeah.
It's
Here
10
comes
assists.
the Dark Ultimate. Has been popped and only a naked Nexus, and the fire has just melted to the Lucian, and they have their eye onto the Nexus. But no, they want to get maybe the ace first, double kill for the Lucian, and this time it's going to be... He's not focusing the Nexus. He wants more kills. He wants to show us more. But the Nexus has gone down for X25. Good game, well played, getting the first game of this best of 3 series opposite the other Serbian team in this group. And we're gonna go on a very quick commercial break, and we're gonna be back to break down this game.
You ready? Huh? Hey, easy boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Europe Championship. I'm Giuseppe Paras, and I'm here with Sorry Masharopoulos. You can see it over here, him over here. My brain has been fried so far. So, we just saw the first game of our second best of the day between the Level Up Rhinos and X25. Can we talk a little bit about what happened last game? Why do you think X25 pulled so far so quickly, and why?
Small mistakes from the side of Level Up Rhinos, especially into terms of positioning and trying to secure maybe the word control around the objectives, made them to do an overstepping in many situations, and X25 were there to punish them. Of course, the double shield composition with the Tariq and the Karma, it was practically the first game that it worked. Karma manages to slow down the Yasuo, throw him a little behind into the early game, and then if you're Karma, you have your items to make you a decent threat, and at the same time you become somehow a shield bot that can spam Mandra shield into your team. And you see, with the protection of the Taric and the protection of the Karma, and of course Trundle subjugating everyone in his way, you create so much space for Lucian, and that's what Lucian taught us into this game, that if I have space, I can do great things. And that's why Lucian is so high up in the ladder at this point. It's so big of a pick if you make the right circumstances for him to shine. And maybe that's the title of the game. It's like Lucian was like a wild animal, but with a lot of support of his team, especially the flanks from Sins. And yes, I can say that it's the first time I see decent flanks from a Sins.
I mean, we're talking about the leader who is known pretty much for his Singed. And here comes the question. And if we're able, we could get an interview with some of the players after this best of 3 is over. We do see the level up Rhinos looking in the Ornn after they've picked the Brom. So even if they let it go over to X25, they know they have a way to counter it. But they do decide to pick it instead of picking the Graves to counter the Trundle that already was going on for the X25 squad. Now, the question is, when you know that your enemy is playing the Singed, why don't you put something more aggressive in there that can actually solo kill the Singed? You could put in a Camille, you can put in a Fiora, maybe, into the top lane, but instead, you put the Ornn, you know he's going to struggle, you know the second you pull out the Ornn from his lane and you get him to flank or join your team fights, that he's probably going to pay with either farm disadvantage or getting his tower down, which is even worse. And now you see we're going straight into picks and bans phase of our second game. Do we expect to see a Singed ban here?
I don't think so. It's not that much of a priority. You have a lot of other picks to focus on, because the Singed could be countered, not with Ornn, but could be countered into the side lanes. And since he's still not that much of a threat for a banner of command, for example, because he will take too much time to destroy the bannered up minion. Now, level up Rhinos might last ban him, for example, if it's not been picked so far into the pick and ban phase. Just last ban him, just to be clear, not have something like this into the top lane, that annoying, but I don't think it's a priority ban. They can lean on other bans that they need in order to turn up their composition into working into the Summoner's Rift. And we see Morgana, we see Irelia, Karma and Camille, more logical bans from the side of X25 now. If you don't want to play the Karma, ban the Karma, okay. But we will have Graves open, we will have Ornn open, and a lot of other stuff. Here's the Kai'Sa ban.
And you do have the Rakan open as well right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't anymore. He's going to be the last ban from X25 and insta-lock Ezreal.
Yep. First pick Ezreal. X25 may answer again with the Lucian and a protective pick into the bot lane. Maybe they can take just Brom Lucian. And you are fine. You can pick Ornn. We have Brom. And I think, you see, it's really decent bot lane right now. Kind of broken.
Here comes the Lucian as well. I mean, it's pretty much textbook. Like you said, if you lock in exactly Brom and Lucian, textbook, really strong lane. It can proc the passive from the Brom super fast. And it eliminates the chance that the level up Rhinos will go again for that Ornn. And this
so
is
they will have to ban it.
Exactly. This is where I want them to innovate. I want them to go aggressive top lane. Something that can kill the Ornn and the Sins. But the Camille and the Irelia are banned. The Jax could be a very good choice here. And level up Rhinos are locking in the Taric.
The extra protection They saw what Tari can do in the last game, but I am not that fan of a Tariq next to the Ezreal. Okay, I can understand the love story, but after the love story, it's not that good of a combo into the bot lane. You see, you have the dash, and they also lock in the Talia. They fight for the Talia to work into this competition and maybe punish for it. If you
Never
want my
know.
opinion, because Graves is open.
Lane Talia.
Yes, but Graves is open, Ornn is open, and you have the Braum. I see a
Again,
lot of
I
stuff
don't
on
understand
this.
why the level up rhinos do not choose to pick the Graves. I really don't understand why not.
Because they want Talia jungle. And we will see that. And we have a Nidalee. Okay. Interesting choice. For the side of X25. And we are waiting for the bans.
I'm actually waiting for confirmation that this is indeed a Nidalee jungle, but it seems like it actually is, which could work. AP versus AEP, super heavy poke jungler versus super heavy poke jungler.
Okay, let's
Could
ignore
actually
Graves that smashes everything into his way. Let's
I was
totally
about
ignore
to say,
him.
let's go for tier 2 picks, except that Talia, that is like a tier 1 pick right now, especially in Korea. Let's ignore like the really good S tier Graves in the jungle and go for something lesser. You know, that's what we see every day, right?
Every day I see an Nidalee jungle into my game. Like
Over
every
Graves.
day.
Over Graves.
Of course. Every jungler I have into the solo queue will pick probably Nidalee and not Graves. If Graves is open. And they will ban Yasuo as the last one. What's your opinion about the ban Yasuo from the side of X25? Was Yasuo so much of a problem to be banned?
I don't know, are they thinking of playing Gnar? Time will tell. We have said over and over again how Yasuo Gnar.
Okay, we make predictions and they get fun of my predictions.
There it is. I said it was gonna be banned and it is banned.
What I was saying was like, since is gonna be banned, my exact words for level up rhinos, just last ban it to be sure, and Zoe is open. And it will smash the mid lane, because Zoe is still that much annoying as it's in the top lane.
So they
And doing
they
a
get
lot
one,
of damage.
and they get one annoying champion banned out. They choose to pick the other one left in line.
Sion, Galio in the mid lane. If the
Rise.
jungle.
It is going to be a Rise in the mid
Good
lane. So
choice.
it's going to be a Talia jungle. They really get that Talia jungle to work. It didn't work last game, even with 4 very early kills into the game. What they're gonna
Maybe
do around
it's
that-
maybe it's a personal bet for the side of level up rhinos to work, to have this Talia into a composition that it will work.
You talked
We
about
have a Sion.
Sion. There it is.
I'm fan of Sion, and I'm not the only one. I have friends that are fan of Sion. They constantly picking Sion in each and every game, even in customs, if Sion is open.
Now tell me why with this composition you would go towards a Talia over a Skana. And you will tell me that I'm stuck with Skana. I'm not specifically stuck with the champion.
You know what?
I just believe that it would work.
Look at the lock-in, Sen. Take a deep breath, because I don't practically have an answer about the Talia in terms of Graves or Skarner. I really don't.
Alright, I took my breath. I'm good. And you guys are gonna have to take your breaths as well, because we're gonna go into a very short commercial break, and then we're gonna be back with you to analyze the picks and bans phase for a second game between these two teams. Stay tuned. And We Love Gaming pushes and saying that they have got the gangplank though, but no, Skarner chooses to get the Kazakhs instead, and he is going to be going down. The Ornn cannot join the fight. Remember, he doesn't have 2 members of Wheel of Gaming are going to pay for this. It's going to be 3 and double kill. And as I was talking about that Gangplank being far ahead, the Shen is right there. Rift has to be careful.
Zion is in the top lane.
Zion is in the top lane. Again, he does have that teleport that he needs. And here comes the Rise ultimate. He's trying to get a kick onto the Varus, but he gets Chain of Corruption in the face instead. Now they have got the Kai'Sa and shut down. Morgana's gonna go down as well. Nobody is taking care of that Varus. And another tower going down for the side of Level Up Rhinos. 2 and 0. Almost 6k, not almost 6k ahead for them. Braum is gonna pop the ultimate and the Morgana literally dives into the backline with her ultimate. A slip going to land onto the Graves and he just disappears. The Braum is going to be the one next and the Lucian is trying to do as much damage as possible, but it's not going to be enough. The Morgana is going to survive and the Zinza, no! He's gonna go down, flash away from the On, who's gonna slowly but surely be going down. Triple kill for the mid laner of Level Up Rhinos, and they are going for the last Mosquito Tower. That's still standing. That could be a very dangerous move. The stun from Aile is going to land right there. Braum, knock up, and they disappear. Same as the Graves. Beautiful stuff right there from the side of Wheel of Gaming. 3 members of Red start going down. The Sun is going to land onto that Kama as well. Q is going to completely miss. Killing spree. Triple kill for the mid laner of Wheel of Gaming right there. And I think this is pretty much. But is he going to be going down? No, the heal from Janna actually is the thing that's going to be saving him. And they are stopping Rakan down there. The Ornn has popped the ultimate, trying to stop the Rakan. But look at that gunner from the side. He just tries to get close to Rift, but he can't because there's so much damage coming out from Rift. And look at that backline of Rift. They are so low. He's flashing in, but he's going to die straight away. And all of Rift are on 5 HP. They are going to manage to get that Janna down. But
here comes Ornn.
He's gonna go down. Nilau is gonna go down.
Quadra kill
for the ADC of Rift. They are chasing. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with ESL Season 7 of the Europe Championship. I'm Troubling, and right here I have breakdown with you a little bit the picks and bans of the second game of this best of 3 between Level Up Rhinos and X25.
I have no answer for Talia and no answer for Nidalee over Graves so far. I'm still trying to find out something. I'm still trying to figure out something. Why to pick Talia or Nidalee and not Graves, and I am unable to do so. So I will stick with what we have, and I will tell you my opinion is that in terms of draft, X25 has a more reasonable composition there with the protection from Sen, with the protection from Braum, a high damage threat into the mid lane, that is Zoe, and an early game jungler that is called Nidalee. Now, on the other side, we have the Ezreal that scales up in the mid lane. In the mid game, we have Taliyah that kind of scales up a little bit more. You have the Ryze that can be tanky enough. And of course, two mid shields that are called Taric and Sion. But in the side of level up Rhinos, even when Ryze scales enough, if Taliyah doesn't have enough kills, I don't see that much of a damage output. On the other side, you have Lucian, you have Nidalee, you have Zoe, that all of them do so much damage, and I think that the level up Rhinos front line maybe have some troubles, especially after a sleepy trouble bubble from Zoe.
I might disagree with you on this one right here, because I just believe that
Might be the first time.
the Lucian the Lucian composition worked before because there were two shields. There was the Taric ultimate that would actually enable the Lucian to get all in into the enemy team and not get any damage on him. There were also the Karma shields that would keep him alive and give him movement speed, but right now he doesn't have anything other than a Shen. Yes, he has the Braum, but I do see the Braum more of like an engage tool. All I see here is a Zoe sleep landing, and that could mean engage for the set of X25. On the other hand, I see the team of the level up Rhinos much more proactive. Instead, they have the Taliyah wall, they have the Ryze ultimate, they have the Sion ultimate that can literally run into the enemy team. And from the back, you have the Ezreal poking, which nobody can reach. You have the Taliyah poking, which nobody can reach. And a Ryze who's tanky enough to sit in the front line and not allow the Lucian to get anywhere near your carries in the back line. I find the previous Lucian comp... Wait a minute. Okay, that looked for a second like a Lucian mid lane, and I was about to say, is that a Zoe bot lane? But it is.
No. It's just a messed up client. It happens sometimes.
Ooh, Shen has been found out very early into the game. Might have flashed that, but the Nidalee has reached Taliyah, and that's gonna be grim stuff for the Taliyah. Has to flash away, but the Ryze is right there. He's going to eat the spear, and it's one more hit. First blood for the Sion, and the level up Rhinos hit back with the first blood, but look at that. The spear has landed. What is the Sion doing? Is he AFK? That is the question. The Nidalee is gonna flash forward and find herself between three members of the level up Rhinos. Second pick for the level up Rhinos. 1 minute into the game, and the Zoe is gonna reply with a kill onto the Taliyah. And what are we seeing straight away? Oh my god.
200 IQ Sion
because
recall.
Oh my god, I'm losing my words. The stun is going to fall on one of the... But the Ezreal flashes away instantly. And mind you, it's a teleport Ezreal with the Taric that has cleanse. That is a definite 2v2 that's been won by the X25 squad, just and only by their summoners.
Yes, and the Sion there was a masterpiece. It was the perfect bait, making me the little flash forward.
Am I AFK? Am I not? You're gonna have to flash through and find
Do you have enough damage to finish me or not? Something like this. You know, with a villager accent, maybe.
I think Simon was really happy on what he was gonna spend his first blood money on, that he was like, let me browse a little bit the market, see what I can buy in there. Now we have a 1v1 between the two top laners. Remember, there is a zombie Sion that could actually turn the kill around on the Shen, and look at that, Taliyah is in the top lane, flash on Shen is available. Is he gonna choose to burn it though? Because I don't think he can get away. He can. 2 kills very early again onto the Taliyah. Let's see if this time they're gonna be able to translate it into something more than last game.
If Taliyah doesn't focus on the bot lane, Lucian and Braum, if they do not do mistakes or do not overstep, they will probably smash the Taric Ezreal bot lane. Now Nidalee is in the river.
Nidalee is heading towards the bot side of the river. Most
No, it's
likely
just a crab.
But look at that, the red buff from Taliyah is still there because he's only been into the top lane. They have spotted that he doesn't have the red buff available, but it is warded currently from the level up Rhino squad. See, he's been pinged out. Who has priority in lanes? In the mid lane it is Zoe, in the bot lane it is X25 as well. They have priority in every single lane. Is he going to be able to steal the red buff before Talia gets there is the question. And here is the 1v1. Ryze has started moving first. Let's see where the red buff is going to go. And it is going to be on the Nidalee, but look at that. The level up Rhinos are acting first. And the Zoe has caught herself a Ryze, or is it the other way around? Ryze doesn't have much mana left, and the Nidalee is going to jump straight in. The heal is not going to be enough, but they're going to swap 2 kills for 1. In favor of X25, make that 3, make that maybe 4. No flash on the Ezreal, they're gonna stop there. It's going to be a 3 for 1 in favor of X25, just for 1 Nidalee and 1 small red buff.
You see how important is the priority into the lanes when you're able to deny the farm from the enemy and take the fastest route there, because Zoe was a key factor stopping Ryze from getting into Nidalee. Then Nidalee decided that, okay, I will die either way, so I will burst down the Taric, forces the cleanse, and then delivering the double buff to Ezreal.
I'm gonna say
Lucian,
another thing. Do you see how important it is to have summoners that actually do more damage than your opponent? And here comes Braum. The arcane shift from Ezreal is going to miss with the stun from the Taric, and they're going to change the bot. The beautiful knockback there by the Talia, but she might get stunned right here by the Braum. But is he gonna be going down? He is gonna go down to the Ezreal. Another stun landing onto the loop. Double kill for the ADC of the level up Rhinos. And I just wanted to say that in the skirmishes, it plays such a huge role to have summoners that counter your opponent. And look at that. She has just picked up a barrier from literally the floor of the mid lane, and she is going to be able to 1v1 the Ryze. Talia is right there. Let's see if she's going to be able to do anything with that. The knockup is going to miss, but the sleep is not. Look at that. Half health of the Talia with 1 Q from the Zoe. That's a free flash available. Not going to need to use it.
And no mana for Talia. And you see that I made the mistake about Ezreal, but Ezreal had the double bash before.
He was the one that killed the Nidalee and then backed off.
Even though Lucian secured 1 kill, and then Braum secured another one. But it's gonna be a hard game, because you see that the smell of the solo queue with a lot of fighting.
I see 11 kills in 6 minutes. If we had one more, we'd have double kills per minute, but I'm gonna be alright with just that. Flash forward from the Ryze, try and the Nidalee in place, but super fast flash from the Nidalee as well to get away from that. No flash is available now for either of them, which means if the sleep lands, that guarantees that the Q from the Zoe lands and the spear from the Nidalee. So that's double trouble from the Ryze and the Talia, and they back off wisely.
And now X5 are controlling the bot lane because of the scaling that their bot lane has against the enemy bot lane.
Ooh.
And of course, Braum keep all this time landing those Qs into the Ezreal.
It is very dangerous once you land the Q, but here we see, oh, the Senna ultimate is coming in, and now they're going to be able to get Leah. No, she's going to flash away in the last, and she secures her blue buff. Win-win scenario for the jungler of level up Rhinos right here, who is not even able to take her jungle at this point. Nidalee is everywhere.
And Sion is still in the top lane, stacking up a huge wave, pushing it to the enemy turret.
And we have a 2v2 between the two
bot
lanes right now. Ezreal did stay more than Taric in the lane with solo XP, so does have the level 6.
And the Sin. That's a nice power spike for him.
Look at the Talia. She is making her way towards the bot lane. We do have a wall available, but look at the Nidalee and the Zoe. They are right there. But the spear did ignite, going down onto the Talia, and bye-bye to the Talia. Yes, it's gone. Another spear landed onto the Ryze. Can they get down before it kills anyone? Yes, they can. And it's a 2-0 in favor of X25 again.
And that's the true power spike of having a Zoe into your team. Too much damage too early into the game without items. It's just a lost chapter and a Doran's ring. And you see the amount of damage that does to the enemy team?
That is insane indeed. Damage output. The mid laner of X25, and let's see what they're gonna choose to go next. Because on the Shen there is no ultimate available, there is no teleport, there is this window that level up Rhinos can act on, but look at all that damage that he puts onto the Sion.
It's the Tiamat from Shen trying to stay into the lane, trade the damage, not letting Sion go away, or try to roam maybe into the mid lane. You see that Tiamat was a nice choice, even though the Lito is 2 kills behind.
A Shen is a Shen, and I don't think it matters exactly how many kills he's behind. He is able to give to his team, same as an Ornn. Look at that, Aaliyah is right there. He wants to knock up, he's gonna knock up both of them. But look at that, they're still quite safe. The stun is going to land. Beautiful, unbreakable to stop the Trusha barrage from the Ezreal. And the spear is going to land onto the Ezreal as well. The Zoe is right there, but everybody's going to start backing off because the Rise is coming as well. Shen has overstayed his welcome under Sion Star, and let's see if one is going to be able to kill another. Braum runs away with a slither of his health, and it's going to be called a day right there, and Shen has to flush away from Sion in the top lane. Too much aggression from the Lito in the top lane underneath enemy tower.
Too much turret hits taken. It's the correct phrase I would use there. He tried to trade, but Sion used his foe kit trying to lock him under the turret. So it was too many turret hits for the X25 soft laner. And I see a slower paced game in terms of macro, and a higher paced game in terms of boxing with each other.
That is how it's gonna go. Here the Lucian has got himself Ezreal. And I'm just gonna focus on the fact that this Zoe is sitting on kills in the middle and 30 CS ahead of the Rise. That is
It's
a very dangerous Zoe. And Zoe completely enables Nidalee as well, because once the sleep lands, if it's in clean range, the spear is going to land as well. So there's double follow-up by the Nidalee and the Zoe. I don't think anyone other than Sion can actually... And here you do see, because of the lane priorities they have, they do get a very free uncontested dragon, which is going to be an Ocean Drake, which is going to help their lanes even more to stay and push and regen and do that all over again.
Nice footwork by X25, trying to control the map. We have a DC lag issues. Clearly a DC for Taric.
Hopefully it is going to get resolved very soon, and we're back into the game with more action, hopefully, because the game has been a little bit slowed down right now.
You need more action?
I do need more action. Here comes the Leah for the flash, the real flash, out of the Zoe. A little bit of a client freeze, which is typical after every pause in the game.
Alright, we'll never fix it, I think.
Oh,
they will make it a legendary bug.
Right there from the Braum. Takes 3 tower shots right there. I don't think that was necessary, especially since they had lane priority as well. Gets him really, really low. Although there is no ignite on the level up Rhino's bot lane. Nidalee is heading down there as well. Sign ultimate has been popped. They have got the Sin as well. Knockback is going to most likely the death of Sin, and Serbian cures another one. 3 in total for him. This time the Sins might have worked, but this time the Shen is not working very well, even though ahead in CS.
Too much action in both map sides, in the top lane and in the bot lane, and they maybe now are able to secure the first turret of the game. But will even the gold for both the teams. even give level up Ninos maybe a little bit a goal ahead. Now X25 will take it back. Or not.
Oh,
More strategical game with a bit more blood, do you think?
You know what the funny thing is, though? That level up Rhinos are actually 300 ahead. Even though you would think that the way this game is going and the damage output that Zoe is having, that it would be the other way around. But Shen is just so far. And the Lucian is somehow so far behind that I feel like the goal difference is laying in between these two.
The only certain thing is that this game, only when one of the two teams blow it up with a huge team fight, has a lot of road in front of it. We have to wait a bit for both the composition to scale in order to have an explosive 5v5 team fight, as we like to see.
Okay, the Sion has arrived, and this time for getting out, he is one of the champions that can't burst. Shen has arrived to save the Nidalee momentarily, got himself in too deep. They are all three of them going to be able to run out of any trouble that Sion brought with him.
And now Sion has a teleport, and the bot lane of X25 has a lot of time working into the top lane.
Zoe went a little bit too deep right there. The slow is going to land, the knockup is going to land, the rune prison is going to land, but there's not enough damage yet. Where is that Sion going? He is going towards the top lane. He tried to show that he was going for the Zoe, but he has just arrived into the top lane. 3 members are right there. The Sen is gonna go down first, and the Lucian and the Braum are gonna be following very, very soon. Double kill for the Talia, and if this might be the triple kill. No, they decide to give it to the Ezreal. There you go. That is a 3-for-1 in favor of the level up Rhinos.
And all of this thanks to the Sion Drifter going from the mid lane straight to top lane just to massacre the enemy team.
Do you see how beautifully he maneuvered himself through?
Yes, and that's why I called him the Drifter. He maybe uses a steer wheel.
I just want to see basically the Zoe more involved. Because so far, level up Rhinos are catching X25 asleep, and they're catching the members that they can actually kill. Everyone else, except that Zoe, is far behind in kills. So any fight that the level up Rhinos can pick up that Zoe is not inside, it is pretty much a win scenario for them. And they've been doing this very wisely so far and distributing the kills very wisely. So I just want to see the Zoe a little bit more involved, get the sleep in there, secure that the spear is going to land on top of the sleep and her Q, of course, and just make one of level up Rhinos champions completely disappear.
I'm trying to figure out in which way both these teams can snowball their advantage. Because X25 has a Zoe.
They keep on hitting onto that Shen that is 0-4, but still more CS than
Look at the Lucian on the top lane. It's a tier 1 turret versus a tier 2 turret in the top lane, and now Sion is going this way.
But Nidalee has joined them as well, and if they want to pick the fight, the Rise will join in very why you dashing forward, but that is a 2-for-1. Never mind, because the Rift has been popped into the bot lane, and it is going to be at least a 2-for-2 tower trade. One in the bot lane and one in the top, but they have got a fight. They have got the Rise into his own jungle. Will they be able to finish him off? Here is going to miss the Lucian and the Braum are right there, and the kill goes to the Braum. But because of that, the Rise was able to stop X25 from backing off.
Look at the ultimate
so
from the Ezreal.
Rhinos, the level up Rhinos are going to take an inhibitor 17 minutes into the game.
Yes, because the Triset barrage from the Ezreal interrupted the Nidalee back. Also, there and almost interrupted the Braum back. That was really nicely played by the level up Rhinos.
Oh my god, this is so funny. Every time a team makes a winning move, they're behind in gold. This time the level up Rhinos grabbed an inhibitor, they're behind in gold. This game is just mind-blowing. Oh, we see the Zoe right here trying to grab the Leah, forcing the flash as well for herself, that is, to try and get that solo kill. It is not going to happen. Still sitting on a 4-0. I want to see her more involved in her team's fight.
You will see them in the next big team fight, and you will see the damage that Zoe can deliver into a team fight if that bubble lands. And it's kinda disgusting. Especially if you see, look at the inventory for the Zoe.
Oh, for Litzbane as well, this is gonna hurt. So the Zoe is nowhere to be seen close to this dragon. That means that the level up runners are going to get their first dragon for free right here, which is going to be an Ocean Drake to mirror the Ocean Drake that X25 has. But look at that Nidalee TPing on top of the ward. Is he gonna be able to escape? No flash for
Unbelievable
the
that you saw the wall of Taliga interrupting the knockup from Sion there, and that's why Nidalee is still alive.
The Zoe has been called, the Sen ultimate has been called down onto the Zoe, but no way that X25 can force this fight.
Unbelievable interaction. 20 seconds for the Baron. I still can't believe that Taliga interrupted the knockup from Sion for the last second before
I think
it landed.
that's what saved the Nidalee there.
Yes. That was
Here
like...
comes the Zoe landing the Q onto the Taliga, but no one there to really finish her off. The Lucian is trying to make some moves front lane. That Rise rooting the Lucian right in place, and that's exactly what I talked about at the start, that the Rise can stop the Lucian from going into the fight, which level up Rhinos could not do in the previous composition that X25 had around the Lucian, because too many shields and
you see that?
and too many stunts, I wanted to say. Go on.
I was about to say that Sen is forced into completing the Titanic
Hydra.
Hydra.
Oh my god, and Nidalee has found herself into too many members of the level up Rhinos, and the Lucian is trying to swap one kill, but is it going to be? No! Double kill for the Ezreal, and the Lucian can only pick up one flash forward from the Sion to get the slow. He's gonna get it, but instant flash forward from the Braum to try and get away. And this could potentially mean Baron. Keep your eyes peeled onto that Zoe, because she could mean everything for this fight. Sleep onto the Sion. You're not going to land on anyone, but she has plenty more to go until this Baron is done. Another sleep is going to land on the Rise this time, and a Q though, beautifully, the Sion eats all of the Qs from the Zoe, and she can't very well get the Baron. It's going to get secured by the Taliyah, which, by the way, did not have a smite there.
7-0 and 2. Ezreal with 2 items completed. One of them is the Trinity Force, stacking up a second tier. This Ezreal is hurting a lot now, and Zoe needs to step up into the next fight. Of course, X35 members need to not be caught out of position again and again, delivering objective after objective to the level of Rhinos. But that's another story.
And of course they use this bannered up minion and the Baron buff to grab the tier 1 mid lane tower. And now there's going to be the tier 2 mid lane tower. And having such a poke-oriented team, like having a Zoe and a Nidalee versus so many minions, it usually doesn't do that good. Here comes Taliyah Wall to separate the X25 team. Beautifully stopped right there by the Unbreakable of Braum. And let's see if they can clear out this wave and create a situation for themselves here.
They did so. But the inhibitor in the bot lane is still open, and Sen is 100% occupied there. Look at the damage from the poke.
Alright, let's see if the Zoe can get anyone down. Sleep is going to land onto Taliyah, and a spear is not gonna land. Yataric ultimate going in. Drushbar has been shot by the Ezreal, and the Sion is to the Brom though, and this might be a chance for X25 to hit back. Flash forward and taunt from the Shen is gonna mean 1 kill, but 2! No, it's not gonna mean any kill yet, because the zombie side was still doing damage. Now they have got the Brom. Look at all this damage the Ezreal is putting down. 2 for 1 in favor of the level up Rhino so far. And the Zoe can simply not land any of that damage she has because of all these minions.
And they will secure the
God.
inhibitor in the mid lane.
Every time the Zoe steps forward to do some damage, it is the Ezreal that returns just as much back. Shift forward and might be catching the Taric here. No, Ryze ultimate is gonna be getting him out and safe. True Farah's shot. They have got the Ezreal though. 1 stack, 2 stacks, and he's gonna get shot down by the Zoe. And now I just want to see more coming out of this Zoe. Yes! He has played very well this game, but he has also played very safe. He has not put himself out there to be able to create more situations for his team. He's mostly played a very safe game where he's like, okay, I'll let them come to me. If a sleep lands, I'm gonna try getting there. I'm gonna try get some Qs down, but we need more playmaking ability by a mid laner on a Zoe with a Lich Bane that's sitting right now on 5-1 and 3, 40 CS in front of his opponent.
And this game is still wide open. However, X25 need to be really careful not in order to have always their lanes pushing, especially in the mid lane and in the bot lane because of the open inhibitors and currently destroyed inhibitors.
Even though there's 2 inhibitors down, the gold difference is sitting on 2,000.
Because of the farm difference. Look at the difference between Ezreal and Lucian.
Exactly, every single lane has more CS except the jungle, which the CS difference is kind of sitting in there in 30 CS, about 30 CS. And that's an Infernal Dragon going towards the side of level up Rhinos. Flash forward from the Rise for the Prison onto the Brom, and he might be paying for being so far ahead of his team. The Blast Cone is gonna be popped, and that's gonna mean the death of the Brom. And on the other side, the Talia has got herself a juicy Sen, and Rise has brought his whole team forward to catch the Zoe. Will this be the shutdown? It is, and the Rise claims his prize. 3 members of X25 are dead, and the Lucian is trying mindlessly to do something. Team double kill for the mid laner of level up Rhino, so this could very, very well be game. 10 seconds for the next member of X25 that's going to be alive, and it's only gonna be Brom with a Sand that's sitting right now on a 0 and 5. I don't know if X25 can defend this. I think we're going on to game 3.
But we will see in a while.
We see the Brom jumping in, the taunt from Shen. He might be facing his own death right here, might be going down, and he is going to be. Ryze is gonna claim yet another kill behind his CS, behind the deaths, it doesn't matter. Best composition wins right here, and this time level up Rhinos managed to create the better composition. Good game well played to the level up Rhinos for tying this up on 1-1. The Serbian showdown is going on. We're going on to game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere because we're gonna be right back in just a second.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com. Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Championship. I'm Jojo W. Paras, and I'm here with Kostas Reimosaropoulos to bring you our third game of our second best of 3. It's been explosive so far. We never expected to actually get 3 whole games, and the 2 ones being very, very juicy.
A lot of kills, a lot of action all over the map, a lot of personal mistakes and oversteps for both of these teams, but the composition so far showed us that it's once again 50% draft, 50% gameplay. We were saying about the Taliyah jungle. Taliyah had a lot of damage, so he couldn't do that much into the last game, and I'm expecting to see even more experimentations in the last game for both of these teams. And I'm not sure what to expect.
So we did see top laner of X25 pulling out the Shen because the Singed got banned out from the level up Rhinos. But yet again, we see a very weird type of junglers. We see them picking the Taliyahs and the Nidalees over the Graves, which we said again, it's an S tier pick right now. And this time, for the great good of the level up Rhinos, the Taliyah worked. They managed to make it work and grab the win over X25 and make it a 1-1 tie right now. So, what do you think we're expecting to see in the third game? What would you ban if you were level up Rhinos, and what would you ban if you were X25?
I'm not sure. Both these teams seem to ignore the Graves so far into this best of 3, but I think that they will prioritize right now into Graves. They think that they might be needed into this third game, and I want to see maybe Singed again, banned, and a lot of other stuff. But I think that Taliyah needs to be banned maybe because it seems like a comfort pick for the side of a level up Rhinos. Maybe you want to remove it if you're X25, take something else into the jungle. And I cannot predict what's gonna be in the bot lane, especially with the Ezreal Braum bot lane, with the Lucian Braum bot lane not working against an Ezreal Taric bot lane. So I have seen enough into this best of 3 not to take a position and not to make predictions, because they always kinda make us lie into the pick and ban phase, and going into the game, make us lie once again who has the upper hand and who has not.
All right, we're going to throw it into a very, very quick commercial break because we're going through some technical issues with the teams, and we will be right back to jump straight into picks and bans phase for a third game of our second best of 3 of the day.
Welcome to the ESL Southeast European Championship.
Gotta be honest though, I mean at this point it is a chance for Sinners to get...
How has he been able to just shift through like that? He's looking at He will maybe another ace on the
man.
4 kills, 1 player left, and then the ace.
here comes the Bane with a double kill, and here comes the follow-up, and Jack is wanting to follow up there, and we see the triple kill come out and taking down Poppy, and they are continuing to push this one. You are going to want to get out of there. You don't want to dodge that one, but there comes the Quadra. Are we going to see the Penta?
Welcome back, everyone, to ESL Season 7 of the Europe Championship. I'm Doublelink, and I'm here with Ryuma to bring you very shortly our picks and bans phase for the third game of our second best of 3 of the day. And we talked a little bit briefly about what we expect to be picked and banned. Now, we do have level up rhinos on the blue side again. So, do we expect again an Ezreal first pick? Because that Ezreal was crazy, and if you really think about it, both of the teams that won their games, they had their ADCs really picking up the speed and carrying, in brackets, their whole teams.
As I was saying before, I don't know what to expect for both of these teams going into a pick and ban phase. They seem to experiment a lot. They seem to prioritize into things that we do not consider in general, such as strong picks or a lot of other stuff, but we will see through pick and ban phase what's the logic behind the picks. In some cases, in the first game of this best of 3, we have seen that they build around the Lucian, creating the space that this ADC needs in order to shine. In the second game, the Ezreal pick up early kills because the level up rhinos created the space for him to do so. I invested into scaling, put up resources into the Ezreal hunt, and then Ezreal had enough time to sign into the Summoner's Rift. So I think that both X25 and level up rhinos would maybe see put their money maybe into the ADCs once more.
All right.
We have some technical issues into the draft, but we will fix it eventually.
We'll get there slowly but surely. I just want a little bit your opinion about the Lucian. We did see it working on the first composition of X25, where they had the Karma, they had the Taric. On the second one, you liked the composition. I said, I don't know, man. How is ever Lucian gonna get through the rise with no shields, no boosts, no speed ups? He literally had nothing. He just had a Braum, and the Braum was getting caught up in the front line, killed. Then you have pretty much nothing left to protect your Lucian. So let's see if X25 is gonna choose to pick another Lucian yet again, and what composition they're gonna choose to put behind him this time. And we have just gone into the picks and bans phase. Level up rhinos versus X25 esports. We're standing on 1-1 in a Serbian showdown right here between the two teams. Morgana out of the picture straight away.
A logic one. And the Talia out of the picture, of course.
You were expecting to see it. You're like, get her out of here. Like, if
yes, of course. It's like a comfort pick for the jungle of the level up rhino. So in the third game of the best of 3, that's practically a best of 1. You need this comfort pick out of the picture. You need to do some more targeted bans in order to create a draft that is more valuable to you than letting comfort picks secured by the enemy into the pick and ban phase. Camille is also out.
Again, we see a Camille banned. Second time that X25 do ban Camille on the red side and Aurelia to finish up bans from the level up Rhinos. Let's see what X25 is going to choose to ban. Is it going to be the Ezreal? Is it going to be the Rakan? We will find out very soon, because last time level up Rhinos that were on blue side, they first picked the Ezreal.
And with Talia banned, they will probably go for the Graves, and that's why X25 are overthinking about their last ban.
Going to be the Ornn. And
Rakan first pick.
If I'm right here, none of these teams really prioritized the Ornn on their first pick. It is going to be the Rakan lock-in and the other side. On the other side, I'm sorry. I think at this point in time, I have lost a little bit my words and my mind. It is going to be the Ezreal and the Karma locked in for X25 Esports. A Karma which they played into their mid lane.
Thank God. Here's
the
a
first
Grave.
game. And our prayers, I think, they have heard our prayers and they're like, okay, alright, not gonna pick no Needlies and no Talias on top of Graves. It's gonna be Graves, and if X25 Esports chooses to go with the Trundle, we're gonna pick strong lanes and play with a jungler ahead. Hopefully, that's what goes behind the mind of the level up.
And Xayah Rakan, an enjoyable bot lane.
We haven't seen a Xayah in so long.
And here comes the Xin Zhao. Okay, you see, there are two roads that you can walk with the Xin Zhao and the Graves into your composition. Straight up solo queue fighting from level 1, like the one jungler trying to find the other into the jungle, one trying to kill the other all time long, or you can prioritize into objectives, trying to create space for your carries. But from what we have seen so far by these teams, I think that the third game will have a lot of solo queue flavor.
I mean, we do say time and time again how the Graves is just so strong against all these tanks. But then what we forget is the sort of Rengars that the Teutons pulled out, the Xin Zhao, the Lee Sin could be in there, even the Kha'Zix after the nerfs could be played in certain situations to counter the Graves. And of course we saw the Nidalee, the Talia can very well play against the Graves. All these damage dealers pretty much make the matchup a 50-50. But now of course let's see which is going to be the last ban for the level up Rhinos, and it is going to be the Alistar.
Because they strongly believe that this Karma is in the mid lane, and X35 haven't yet revealed their support next to the Ezreal in the bot lane.
But we do know that one time that they did play it did go into the mid lane. So they do have strong evidence that the Karma is going into the mid lane. And to be honest, the Karma Ezreal lane is not like something that you want, but it's something that X25 is going to play. I think it's like my caster curse. Every time I'm saying this is never going to happen, it just happens straight away. They lock in Vladimir, which of course could be going towards the top lane. Both of their picks are flex. We could have Karma mid, Vlad top, or Vladimir mid and Karma into the bot lane as Ezreal's support. And let's see how level up Rhinos are going to manipulate this situation.
Lock down Cho'Gath and you're safe. They will have someone in the side lanes, always pushing, and you will probably have a beast mid to late game as a front line for Xayah Rakan and Graves.
Let's see what they're going to choose to lock into the mid lane. They have played so far a Yasuo, I was about to say in a Rise, but they're putting some flavor. They're going to go with the Cassio this time, which works very, very, very well against the Vladimir with the burn, of course. You can go Leandris in there, and it does, I'm sorry, Morella Nomicon, and it does cost the Vladimir a lot of health, especially with the grievous wounds it applies. And of course, damage over time ability champions do usually come on top of healing champions such as Vladimir or Mundo in this place, which is going to be the last peak for X25.
So before we break down the compositions, I think we have something to do.
Especially right now that we're going into our last game. Game number 3 coming right up, right after the commercial break that is coming, and we're gonna break up everything from the compositions. See you guys in a bit. Stay tuned. And We Love Gaming pushes and saying that they have got the gangplank though, but no, Skarner chooses to get the Kazakhs instead, and he is going to be going down. The On cannot join the fight. Remember, he doesn't have 2 members of We Love Gaming are going to pay for this. It's going to be 3 and double kill. And as I was talking about that gangplank being far ahead, the Shen is right there. Rift has to be careful.
Zion is in the top lane.
Zion is in the top lane. Again, he does have that teleport that he needs. And here comes the Rise ultimate. He's trying to get a kick onto the Varus, but he gets Chain of Corruption in the face instead. Now they have got the Kai'Sa and shut down. Morgana's gonna go down as well. Nobody is taking care of that Varus. And another tower going down for the side of Level Up Rhinos. 2 and 0. Almost 6k, not almost 6k ahead for them. Braum is gonna pop the ultimate, and the Morgana literally dives into the backline with her ultimate. A slip going to land onto the Graves, and he just disappears. The Braum is going to be the one next, and then Lucian is trying to do as much damage as possible, but not going to be enough. The Morgana is going to survive, and the Zinza, no! He's gonna go down, flash away from the On, who's gonna slowly but surely be going down. Triple kill for the mid laner of Level Up Rhinos, and they are going for the last Mosquito Tower. That's still standing. That could be a very dangerous move. The stun from Ale is going to land right there. Braum, knock up, and the disappear. Same as the Graves. Beautiful stuff right there from the side of We Love Gaming. 3 members of Red Star going down. The Sun is going to land onto that Kama as well. Q is going to completely miss. Killing spree. Triple kill for the mid laner of We Love Gaming right there. And I think this is pretty much. But is he going to be going down? No, the heal from Janna actually is the thing that's going to be saving him. And they are stopping Rakan down there. The On has popped the ultra trying to stop the Rakan. But look at that scanner from the side. He just tries to get close to Reef, but he can't because there's so much damage coming out from Reef. And look at that backline of Reef. They are so low. He's flashing in, but he's going to die straight away. And all of Reef are on 5 HP. They are going to manage to get that Janna down, but
here comes On.
Like it's gonna go down. Nilau is gonna go down.
Quadra kill
for the ADC of Reef. They are chasing.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Europe Championship. I'm Tata Tabliparas, and I'm here with Kostas Raimosaropoulos to bring you a little bit of a rundown of what we saw in the previous picks and bans phase before we jump into Game 3 between Level Up Runners and X25 Esports, which is going to show us, at least for today, which one of the two Serbian teams is the better one today.
I don't know from where to start. Just to be honest, X25's composition looks a bit more like a collection of comfort picks for the laners, especially with the Ezreal Karma in the bot lane, the Xin Zhao in the jungle, the Vladimir that can create plays all over the map, and the decent strong tank in the top lane that is called Mundo. From the other side, we have more things to consider, such as the engage from Rakan that can be followed up with a lot of things such as the Graves Burst or the Xayah Burst, the slippery the can Xayah be if you do not chain your crowd control nice enough. So I think that this game is gonna go or maybe a lot of messy. We have a lot of team fighting.
Are we expecting solo queue flavor?
Yes, of course. Especially depending on the X25 composition, I think so, yes. On the other side, Cassiopeia is a really strong pick in the mid lane. As you were saying before, the Vladimir can be stopped by the Cassiopeia, especially with the Morale-Nomicon. And I think we are going into the game, and I see a lot of pings from the side of X25.
And as you can see, four members of them are moving towards the top side. We have a Hulk Mundo happening in the top lane for X25, and Vladimir be about meeting some new friends right there. He doesn't really want to.
Vladimir is just baiting, and now here comes Mundo. Mundo flashing forward to throw them a set. And here freezes the client. Also, Cho'Gath panic flashes away from a Mundo. Level 1 Mundo, though. You see the solo queue flavor? We were saying now Rakan is engaging, knocked up Karma. Maybe has to flash away, flashing the other way.
Oh,
Cho'Gath in 5 people. Yes, and now Cassiopeia has also to flash away. It's an extended skirmish level 1. Mundo is working forward. Rakan is waiting for the cooldown to go back in. And Karma has to go back into the base.
No flash for Karma. Two summoners.
No flash for the mid laner, but Vladimir has a flash and an ignite. No flashes for the top laners, which is K, as we say, and no flash in the bot lane. Now, junglers have a lot of ground to work around.
I just want to see, to be honest, both of them paying a visit into the top lane. It is very possible to get that Cho'Gath far behind, to get that Mundo far behind. As you can see, the Graves has started from bot lane, which does suggest that he might be paying his first visit into the top lane as he advances towards his blue buff. But let's see, because the Xin Zhao is already there and he does want to steal the blue buff from the Graves, because Graves right now is doing his raids and has no idea what's happening towards the top lane because there are no wards, although X25 has filled the top lane with wards. And look at where the Vladimir is playing.
Oh, look at the damage at the Vladimir.
That kind of gives it away. The fact that Vladimir is playing towards the top side, that kind of gives it away that Xin Zhao is playing towards that side. That gives freedom to the Graves to be able to take the bot, reverse Scuttle Crab, and maybe invade for the blue buff, which he's going to do right now.
And Xin Zhao is pinging in the mid lane now. Karma is in trouble. Remember, has no flash, has heal up, the freeze. We can't even play by play.
Keeping us on our seats. Is he going to die or is he not?
Yes, he's going to die. It's a first blood for Rakan. And Xin Zhao is paying a visit into the mid lane. No flash, Karma. Do not step forward. That's a lesson you will take. And now Xin Zhao is going in. The flashing forward with the ignite pops up the heal. And the Cassiopeia is dead. A lot of solo queue
Beautiful
flavor
stuff
once
right
again.
there. I mean, you play Zinzao, you might as well put some solo queue flavor in there. Beautiful stuff from the
Now
extra
here comes Graves, and you see that Vladimir might be in trouble. No summoners up. They choose on Zinzao. Zinzao is bursting down, and Vladimir is on the wrong side of the map there with the double buffs. Rakan maybe coming in. The knockup doesn't even for a little while land, and now Vladimir is running for his life, surrounded by two people. Here comes Cho'Gath. Can he survive this? I'm not sure that he can. It maybe is dead, but now here comes the flash and knockup. Now this Rakan is out for blood.
Rakan, the carry that level up Rhinos wanted but never had. We talked about how Pan-J is a key factor when he's put on a Thresh on or Rakan, and right now, this whole time they didn't put him on any of the two, and right now you see him on the Rakan. He's truly shining.
Securing 3 kills for his team, a bloodthirsty support that can smash bot lane, go grab a kill in the mid lane, and then chase a mid lane carry to the top lane to secure the 3rd kill. That's the stuff I like to see in games like this.
And now you see that the Karma roamed all the way towards the mid lane, now going back towards the bot. And I think it's going to get very, very interesting when these big fights start to break out, because one thing I will disagree with, sure, have your teleport on your carry, but the heal on the Karma, I don't find it useful enough, because you know that the Rakan is going to be running the Ignite. So if you want to run a defensive summoner, maybe run a barrier, run an exhaust, but don't run a heal, because I don't think it's going to be as useful since you have massive shields as well. Like if you wanted for the boost of movement speed, you have your shield for that. But then if you wanted to heal someone up with
now,
the Rakan
maybe
Ignite,
he's in trouble. He's going really low. Throwing it and neither of them has flash, and now Rakan is looking for something since they are securing the crab into the river. A lot of trading into the mid lane, but both of them can sustain, one with potions and the other of course with the drain that the kit offers as a Vladimir.
and look how much vision X25 has in the bot quadrant.
Now here comes the Rakan with the engage. The knockup. Karma has to go back because Graves is coming. Heal will be popped up. Ezreal is trying to do something. Karma is safe for now. Nice arcane shift away from the return damage of Graves Q, and you see active junglers in the early game. It's the sauce for this game, and now Vladimir is trading blows. Yes, and Vladimir is trading blows in the mid lane with the Cassiopeia. They may both have to go back in a little while.
Not TP on any of these two mid laners, and I just wanted to talk about the fact that the Xayah didn't get the E on her feathers for just so little. That heal that I was talking about literally saved the Karma from dying there, just because she got the movement speed to move forward from that feather.
And Graves is coming again in the bot lane. Here comes the Rakan. No knockup from the Rakan. Karma has to go nowhere, has to flash away. Now Ezreal is in the wrong position. No flash for the Ezreal. The Ignite, and he's dead. One more kill. Look at the emoticon for Karma. It's beautiful. And now Vladimir is jumping into the face of the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is level 5. Vladimir will sustain, but won't be able to secure the kill under the turret. And now maybe Karma is in trouble once again.
Doesn't have a flash.
Doesn't have a flash. Can Karma? Karma cannot. It's the answer to my not completed.
You weren't
question
able
there.
to even complete your question, and it was answered already. This
From
Rakan
Xayah's
is
feathers.
on fire. We talked about it at the start. This is
Now
why you
Graves
don't
going
give
into the
Pan-J.
mid lane, wanna clear this wave probably. I don't see a reason why Graves should go into
Zinzao's
the face of
around.
Vladimir. Are they gonna meet each other into this blue fight? This sneaky Zinza waiting for the opponent, and Vladimir is
waiting
here.
as well.
Now Graves has no idea where Zinzao is,
Don't
and
walk
he
in there. Look, he knows.
he can smell him. Can he smell him? Oh,
my
Zinzao
God.
is going in. Graves doesn't way has to pull the trigger into the ultimate just to be safe. Cho'Gath is going in. onto the Mundo with the Predator icon up his head, knowing that the jungler is near, and no more action for now. 5-1 kills for the side of Level Up Rhinos. Can they do anything with it?
4 of them on the Rakan. Like I said, like at the start, we said that what a monster Panjay can be with that Rakan or the Thresh. They give him they don't give him any of the two, the starting 2 games, and then they just give him the Rakan, and look at, he's basically all over the map, creating situations for his whole team. What I wanted to focus on though, with this composition that X25 have chosen this time, it feels like if the Rakan taunts 3 or more people, I don't see really anyone dying, because the Level Up Rhinos don't have the burst available. Like the Cassiopeia does damage over time. Yes, the Grave has the burst, and maybe if the Xayah gets in there quick enough with the ultimate, we could see something. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see how this game goes, and how, of course, the Rakan chooses to play with his ultimate, and when he chooses to go in. And we'll see if in the end Level Up Rhinos do have enough damage, or if I'm just talking nonsense right now.
Graves is gonna meet with the Xin Zhao, pings flying all around the Dragon Pit. Xin Zhao says, okay, not today, maybe after I recall and come back into my jungle. The pace of the game is
they're gonna find each other in the jungle though. Oh my god, the second that the Graves jumped in, the Xin Zhao had just crossed the wall, so they did not meet each other.
No mana for the Cassiopeia, and Vladimir knows that. Here comes the Ignite, and the ultimate has pull. Is going for it.
Oh my god!
That's a solo kill. Nicely played by the Vladimirs there, waiting.
That's insane! That's insane.
Here comes Rakan, then knock up with the Grand Entrance, melting the bot lane of X25. 2 more kills secured there with Graves, and now they can work on the first turret of the game.
I think my question has been answered right here. If the Rakan goes in with taunt, if they do have enough damage, they have more than enough damage. And this Graves is not gonna get any less damage. He's just going to be getting more and more painful for them. So they do need to be careful of this engage. This is not a mid lane Kamas. He's not gonna have all that AP to be able to put some damage back and have these huge shields. And here pretty much the Level Up Rhinos are gonna grab themselves a super free and uncontested dragon. But on the other side, I'm gonna give props to X25 for trading that objective. They know they're gonna go for the dragon, so they're starting the Rift Herald to try and possibly get a tower back and make it equal on 1-1 tower.
That's a good choice to do, but we have said before that the Level Up Rhinos is a team that if you gave them an early advantage, they know how to use it and snowball it. And now it's pretty interesting to see that Xayah is standing into 95 CS with 2 kills and 3 assists. Essence River completed. Rakan has 4 kills, and it's going for the most important supportive item for Rakan that provides room for peel, as we say, with a slow. And now Vladimir is going again in, channeling maybe. And that's why he stopped right there.
Doesn't have his ultimate up, it doesn't enable him to dive because he actually doesn't
Rakan is going to the mid lane. Look where in the river he is now. He will meet with Xin Zhao, and also Mundo is coming down. Graves is with him. Karma is with the Xin Zhao. A lot of grouping for both these teams. The ADCs enjoy their loneliness in the top lane.
I mean, I don't know how much Ezreal is enjoying his
peacefully farming
with the 203 Essence Rivered up Xayah. I wouldn't enjoy my loneliness with such a...
Karma is going to the top lane, so it's okay.
Oh, here comes
now maybe Vladimir is going in. Look at the ultimate, nicely played by the Cassiopeia there. Can he finish? Here comes the Graves just to secure it. Taking 1-for-1 trade. Nicely played by the Cassiopeia. We hold our breath for a moment.
That sustain after he comes out of the pool should be legal in this game. It is too much.
I'm not sure. But I'll leave it to you just to judge this because you're practically a mid laner. Now Xin Zhao is going in, has the red buff. Also Graves has the red buff. Misses the ultimate there, has to flash away. Can't be finished. One more turret hit.
Oh my god.
1-for-1, and now we have a fight into the bot lane versus the two big tanks. Mundo seems like Cho'Gath is scratching his back right there with the open ultimate healing him up. And I'm waiting for the Rakan engage in the top lane. You see, he's looking for it.
I was about to say, I'm waiting for the next Rakan engagement.
And Vladimir is going again in. No ultimate. He's just trading blows with the Cassiopeia, dancing around. And here comes the Rift Herald. Can Rakan stop it? No, he cannot. The quickness.
That was so...
Can he solo kill there? The Xin Zhao maybe can. Here comes the flash from the Cassiopeia. One more auto attack would be enough. But the Xin Zhao just using his hand there, and here comes in the Vladimir trying to finish something. The ignite won't be enough. Will be. The Rift Herald doesn't know what to do, where to focus, where to go. Just standing in the mid lane. And now it's
solo queue flavor. That's a whole lot of dish with solo queue flavor in it. All for you.
Okay, now Xin Zhao was looking for a tower there just to make his forehead clean from the sweat. Like, I lived with 5 HP, now I'm okay, I'm good, guys, not even close. And then Cassiopeia dies, and now maybe Cho'Gath could be dead. He's coming in, the knock-up after the flash, the fist won't be enough, secured by the Dr. Mundo.
That's a second tower for the level up Rhinos, and they're just trading their Cho'Gath for it. I feel like, yes, this has a lot of solo queue flavor, but right now they're sitting 5,000 gold ahead of X25 with 2 towers down. And yes, even though it's very dangerous stuff whenever discussions against Vladimir.
Vladimir has ultimate, he will pop up this, the flash away from the Rakan, dancing around the stun down on the Rakan. And now Zaya has enough damage to finish the Vladimir. Yes, she has dropped down the ward for the style point and secures the kill. This Vladimir is out of control, engaging into fight, and now an arcane shift forward into the face of a Cassiopeia that has ultimate. Even the Cassiopeia didn't believe what Ezreal did there just to press the R, I think. Arcane shift forward into the face of a Cassio with a complete
knowing, of course, where the Graves is as well. It's very dangerous stuff.
That's the definition of I walk only forward ADC.
By the way, you did say that it was for Zaya's style points to drop the ward drum, but if you saw the rage bar of Vladimir was filling up, so his next Q would have healed him a lot. If Zaya had lost sight of this Vladimir and he went into the bush without her seeing, he would be able to heal back up.
Graves is owning 2 members. Mundo trying to flank, but Cho'Gath is there for his jungler security.
This Vladimir is just way too scary in the game. I think they just need to pin down the Vladimir and kill him in one taunt. But how do you engage such a strong Vladimir? He walks forward without
and
even
such
having
a mad
ultimate.
Vladimir. Such a mad Vladimir that
right?
he is walking into 3 people to secure a kill. Like, I'll take the 1-1.
Dragon, so we might see another fight. Keep your eyes peeled on the Cassiopeia. She's in the top lane with no teleport. So if there's a fight to break here, that's a 4v5 in favor of X25. I'd take it anytime. And I think this might be... Okay, it is an Ocean Drake. I thought it was an Infernal Drake for starters, but it is an Ocean Drake, so level up Rhinos, I think will be okay with that.
They will stick into pushing the mid lane. Cassiopeia recalled and is going to the mid lane. Now Graves may be in trouble. Dashes away. Okay, I'll take my chances.
See, I just don't see how this composition from X25 as level up Rhinos take the 3rd tower of the game. I just don't see how their composition is gonna be engaged in any fights. It's mostly reactive. Like, I do see the Xin Zhao engaging, but then there's just no CC to be able to keep somebody stuck down for long enough to kill him. And there's a lot of peel. There's a Zaya ultimate. You said it yourself. It's very slippery. You have the Cho'Gath silences, no caps. the Graves can build for his own self. I just don't see a way of how X25 can engage a fight and stick onto their targets. That's my only issue right here with this composition.
I totally agree with you, and I think that we should ignore the fight in the bot lane. We should focus on this after the arrival of one of two junglers, because these beasts in the top lane cannot just kill each other for now.
They're just tickling each other. They're just playing with each other.
Xin Zhao is coming in. Xin Zhao is coming in the bot lane now. Mundo is playing the game of Cho'Gath, chase me, please. I'm all alone. And now Xin Zhao will reveal itself.
He's no longer alone though, the Cho'Gath.
Enjoys the company of Graves and also the bot lane that is going towards the bot lane. Okay, Vladimir will go in once again. Now Cassiopeia has a lot of damage. Forces the ultimate. The stun, beautiful there. Pops out the heal, the Cassiopeia. We are fair and square, are saying both mid laners to each other, and we will back off. Or we will keep farming. And Mundo is ignoring two people as Karma also there to shield him up.
That is
like
so
he has a
key.
problem.
That is so key that the Cassiopeia does not die to the Vladimir's ultimate and ignite. That is very key that he can actually lane with 1 versus 1, and the Vladimir can't get anything out of that because he is the most fed member of X25. And if they can use an advantage, if the Vladimir kills on a side lane the Cassiopeia, that instantly turns into a 5v4 advantage for X25 if he chooses to join for an objective. But at this point,
Here comes
it seems
Cho'Gath.
like he can no longer kill her.
The true question now is, where are they going to focus? Bot lane, mid lane, or they will just wait for the Baron, which is spawning in a while. Vladimir may be going in once again. Keep in mind that there is no ultimate. Vladimir survives with 2 HP, and Rakan is coming in, trying to taunt Mundo as Xin Zhao there. No big deal for both of them, just to secure a blue buff. All this mess for a blue buff.
Not really the targets you want to be going for if you're a Khan. You don't really want to be targeting a Xin Zhao that has med or no. And here comes my question again. Can the rest of the members of the Level Up Rhinos one-shot anyone who gets taunted by the Rakan?
We will find out eventually. Another forwarder gain shift from the Ezreal.
He's not scared of anything at this point.
He's not scared at all. From the start of the game, Arcane shifting into the face of the Cassiopeia.
I think the first tower for X25 Esports is about to go down into the top lane, indeed, from the Vladimir. 3 from Level Up Rhinos at this point, and Graves wants himself some action.
Another turret in the bot lane by Mundo, and the gold difference is going smaller and smaller.
It's at about 3k. It was 6k a few minutes ago, went down to 5, and right now it's sitting at about 3.5k difference in the favor of the Level Up Riders. 1 minute and 20 seconds for the next dragon to spawn, and Baron has already made his appearance for about 2 minutes now. So
I remember alongside with Vladimir, Cassiopeia is getting stronger and stronger, and you don't want to be in the face of a Cassiopeia if Vladimir doesn't kill her. And here comes the beautiful ultimate by the Cassiopeia, create the distance after Vladimir popping up the Hunter's
but
boots.
that was pretty much a Predator and a Proto Belt for a Cassiopeia ultimate. He's forcing too much by just showing his presence right there. I just wanted to say the fact that the Level Up Rhinos have such huge Baron killing potential. Double ADC, Cassiopeia, and Cho'Gath feast. This Baron will go down so fast, especially after we talked about the nerf on the damage from the Baron. And the Mounted Drake on top of that. If they kill 2 members of X25, I think that would be an instant Baron for the level up Rhinos.
Dragon is spawning in 10 seconds. And Jin Zhao is again in the bot lane. Soga will say, do not want any of this. I will back off now. Vladimir is going down the mid lane, and Cassiopeia is just started going towards the rest of the team. And maybe X25 have just secured another free dragon, and that's an infernal one. Now Cho'Gath is walking forward, trying to do something. Here comes the silent, the Ezreal. Too much damage from the Ezreal. Here comes the Cassiopeia. Vladimir is on the other side. They have the feast, they have the smite, and they have the icon of Predator above their heads.
It's gone now. No Predator Vladimir. Look at it, Cho'Gath flanking.
Cho'Gath is taking the long way. Flash forward, secured by Fist. Nice move. Here comes the engage from the Rakan. The taunt, too much damage by the Graves. The Cassiopeia ultimate will go wide, and they will survive. With one kill and the Drake. Beautifully played by the Cho'Gath there.
Insanely played by the Cho'Gath right there. To have these confidence to flash into a smite from the Xin Zhao and feast the dragon. He's like, thank you very much. I was hungry. I will take
another arcane forward into the face of the Cassiopeia there. Secures the turret, but do not manage to kill Cassio with a little bit. Here comes the Cho'Gath. One kill secured into Karma. Now Ezreal is in trouble. He has flash. Has to flash forward. And Arcane says, creates a mile away.
This could be Baron.
Yes, they can maybe force it because the Ezreal is going back, but maybe they want Mundo. Here comes the grand entrance from the Rakan. They're trying to burst this beast down. Now Mundo doesn't have flash, doesn't have anywhere to go. Baron. And it's Baron for level up Rhinos. They have the double ADC as said, and they have the Cassiopeia.
There's a Truce of Baraz and a smite on the Xin Zhao. I can still believe X25 could steal this Baron. I want to see a little bit of flavor of solo queue.
Here comes the secured by the feast, and now Xin Zhao is in the wrong place. Has flash trying to burst down the beast that is called Cho'Gath. Beautifully played by the Cassiopeia there, securing double kill. And 16 and 8, Baron secured, and the gold difference is going to go up high.
I think
high.
Level Up Rhinos have just secured themselves a really big step towards the win of this game and the win of the whole best of 3. They got the first 4 kills of the game onto the Rakan, but then everything other than that pretty much went into the Xayah. Xayah is one of the hardest hyper carries into the late game there is in the game right now, along with Kog'Maw, Varus, Caitlyn. She's a really hard hit late game. X25 do not have their way of forcing a fight, and you saw it at Dragon. Cho'Gath pretty much brute forced their way. He flashed onto the Dragon, and yet he could still not.
And they are knocking into X25's door. Look at the tank that is called. That's practically a tank, not a class in the game. A tank that is walking forward, ignoring everything. Here comes the Mundo trying to create a flank for his team, create some space. Vladimir is on the other side. He's been spotted. Maybe. We are not sure now. Maybe he's going in. Nice flash stunned and knock up by Rakan. Can they finish him? The damage is too much. He's dead. They're looking for more kills. The turret is down. Cho'Gath is walking forward. I will ignore anything and everything into my way to secure the inhibitor. They caught up Mundo. Mundo has no flash. He is going down. They will go to finish this game, this best of 3, because they have Cho'Gath, and Cho'Gath feels no more, and now they 1v1 between the jungler. Graves will secure the kills. A flash for the style points onto the head, and now Ezreal is also doomed. They are going for the Karma. One more kill, double kill for the Xayah, and it's the game for the level up Rhinos with a lot of style points for them in the last fight. GG, well played. 2-1 level up Rhinos secure the 3 points, the victory.
And what a game! What a series! I should say that was. That was a fantastic. That was fantastic material for a great best of 3. We see 3 very, very explosive games. I actually loved the whole series, but if we were to keep a few moments, what would they be? We want them really quickly so we can let everyone go and have a good night, and we'll meet again. So
okay, have a good night with the Rakan taunt and with the Rakan great entrance, and keep in mind that supports can carry you into victory, and that's the most important thing, because Rakan secured 4 kills early into the game. They capitalized into it, serving kills into the ADC, which ADC finished the game with 7-0-7, standing into 270 CS. Remember that next time you pick Rakan into the solo queue, it's really strong, and I'm expecting more Rakans into this tournament from Sunday and after.
Be careful then when you give Panjay the Rakan, because you know what he's going to do. At this point, from myself and Ryuma, we want to thank you, and of course the whole ESL team, we want to thank you very much for joining us today. And of course, we will see you again on Sunday, so stay tuned and we'll see you then. Have a good night.
Jack it up.